Savage.
What's going on, Savages? Welcome to another episode of the Savage Snowflake podcast with me, Jeff Leach. Your father, daddy, obviously. Your brother, I'm there to shield you from harm and protect you when you need it. Your sister, I'm there to listen and to mother you and to cuddle you when you need that embrace. And obviously, your parents as well. Because, you know, I'm going to have to tell you off from time to time, but I'm also your child because I want to learn from you. Look at that. It's everything. We are the world. Thanks very much to our brand new patrons as well. I appreciate all of you guys doing shout outs every single episode. So make sure you get your names in and let me know exactly how you want it to be shouted out. If you have become a patron at patreon.com/SavageSnowflake. And also, thank you very much to our wonderful sponsors. There they are at the bottom of the screen. Boundless Tech, we know and love them. Vape technology that's going to revolutionize your smoking needs. If you want to get those oils, those flowers to a perfect temperature, check out the Boundless Terra and the Boundless CF710 for all the oils, distillates and resins. You get a cleaner smoke. You get much more control over the heats that you actually put them to. You can get different cannabinoids and THC levels out of those products if you set them to different heights and speed of heat. And on top of that, if you use code SAVAGE at boundlesstech.com, that's BNDLStech.com, you will get yourself 25% off all their products. They've upped it. It was 10% with our code, but now they're so happy with what we've been doing for them, they've upped it to 25%. So right now is the time to get yourself some sweet vape technology at bndlstech.com. Check them out at Boundless Tech on social media as well. And of course, manscaped.com over here, there they are at the bottom of the screen. Manscaped.com, giving the best tools and additional products to keep your balls and your downstairs areas in prime tip-top condition. I literally retrimmed my ball hair yesterday. They have a SkinSafe Technology on their blades of the Lawnmower 2.0, so you can honestly just run at speed. Obviously being careful, you're not going to just run it at a very rapid speed, but you can literally just run it across your testicles and your downstairs areas and never get any nicks or cuts. I have the smoothest balls, which my guest is going to be able to confirm at the end of the podcast. Stay tuned for that. Now let's go to my guest. Oh, and also if you want to use code SAVAGE, at manscaped.com, that's SAVAGE at manscaped.com, you'll get 20% off all of their products. You're also going to get yourself a free travel bag and they'll do free shipping for your orders as well. Check out the Lawnmower 2.0 and all their other wonderful products. Keep your downstairs nice, get yourself some ladies, avoid lice. That's the way we do it. My guest today, ladies and gentlemen, is a broadcaster. He's a host. He's an exec producer. Used to do a show called The Attack, which was one of Twitch's, I think, best ever chat shows of all time, especially around the world of gaming. Beyond that, he's also made projects for Disney. And he's a wonderful human being who owes me a fucking jacket.
I do.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Alex Corea. How are you?
Hey, thank you. That was amazing. Well, you don't tell your audience that I have to hold. He gives me cue cards for those ad reads and the huge SNL ones.
And yet you were shaking them. That's why I fucked up a couple of the reads.
I know. I was like, which one is
Stop moving them around.
Fuck, John Mulaney wrote this one.
You do that for SNL as well, don't you?
I do. I just need a couple extra. I used to have a bartending shift. It doesn't make sense because I have to fly to New York to do the cue cards.
Yeah.
I'm making no money, but I'm getting those miles.
And it's the experience as well, right?
It really is.
Experiential.
JetBlue Mint, baby. They give me a mojito every time I get on. I really should not be buying first class.
It's great. It's great exposure.
Yeah, because maybe. Yeah.
Can I just say, if you've ever said to someone, ever, hey man, no, it's going to be great exposure for you, go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself. Rent can't be paid in exposures.
Let's see. A guy who had a show where he'd pay co-hosts literally $150 to be on.
Wait, who was that?
Maybe in the very early days of The Attack. No, I didn't get paid anything for that show.
But you got paid $150 by your ex-boss.
No. I'm saying in the very early days of the show, it's like, come be on a show that you have to do rehearsal for. And it's all we had.
But you were paying something.
Yeah, a little bit.
And you weren't taking the piss out of it. It's not like you were could afford to pay them tens of thousands and you were only paying them $150.
Sure. But at the same time, it was like, hey, but also a lot of people see it. It's, not a lot of money.
But that's you convincing them to do the project, but you're still paying them some money.
I guess that's true.
Big fucking difference, man.
That is true. I also, first of all, second of all, these are the two most Jeff ad reads you could have. The brand, the sponsors, whoever got these ads.
Smoke a little weed, have some smooth balls.
Listen, Jeff, first of all, has smoked weed. I've seen him do it, so that's true. And then also has the smoothest balls. Dirtiest floors I've ever seen in an apartment.
Are you serious? Where?
My feet, no. There's just all these pubes on the ground.
Are you fucking serious?
No, I'm not. I'm assuming I would hope you do that in the bathroom.
Yeah. Well, I do it in the bath. Do it in the bathtub, trim it all down, and then you just get a bit of tissue paper and you sweep up all the fucking hair, bunch it up, and then you flush the toilet. And as it's about to suck down the water, that you drop it in, and then you don't get any hairs coming back into the toilet.
You stick your balls in there, and it's like a bidet for it just washes the rest of the hair off.
I feel like you have listened to a previous episode, but I know you probably haven't, because on the last episode, second to last episode of this that came out, my guest, Ben Morrison, fantastic comedian and producer, we talked about how best to do testicles if you didn't have these wonderful manscaped.com products. And we talked about, I created a thing where you lower your balls into hair removal cream, and then it stays there for the exact amount of time. So you like squat down onto it, you get some workout on your legs, on your glutes. It's great. Sure. Hold your balls in there for 5 minutes, which is the amount of time you're meant to do it perfectly. Then it comes up, and as it comes up, jets of water would hit your nutsack. It'd be kind of intense, but also kind of pleasurable. But it would strip the balls of the hair removal cream as it comes out, and all the hair would fall off. And then at the top end of the ring that you lower your balls into this like vessel, at the top end of the ring would be one of those air blade technology, like hand dryers.
Sure.
But it'd be like a testicle dryer. And as you go through, so it'd be like a one-stop shop. You lower in, it's like a car wash for your balls.
Jeff, I don't even have room for a garbage can in my bathroom. I don't know where I'm gonna put.
Bro, this big. Only how big are your balls, dude?
I mean,
I don't have room for a garbage can.
Problem. I'm like, what is the Magnum version of this product you have? I need the one that looks like a trash can.
Do you have magnificent, gigantic balls?
No, I feel like they're normal. They match. I feel like they're pretty small. Like they really help. The size of the potatoes really makes the meat.
That's steroids doing that.
Oh yeah, totally. Why do you think I have this huge Brandon Lee head? I'm just fucking. It's all steroids.
Makes your balls shrink.
Yeah,
not your dick. They think dicks shrink with
the
steroids.
Dick. I have a lot of help in that because I think I have small balls and I got like no meat on me. So I really feel like if you have less mass down there, the less tonnage,
makes your dick look much bigger.
Yeah, because it's honestly probably like a baby carrot, but surrounded on like a little tiny plate.
I love the idea that most guys would just trim their pubic hair down a little bit just to expose a little bit more shaft or whatever to show them their cock to be bigger. Whereas you don't have to do it because your body is doing the job for you.
And unfortunately for your sponsor, I'm hairless, so there's nothing I can do. I have tried.
What about your ass? Is your ass a little hairy inside the crack as well?
Not really. It's like I feel like I'm blessed. You
don't get any hair in between your butt cheeks.
Jeff, we're doing this for comedy's sake. I get a little bit of hair all over, but just like a little bit. Like I've seen other dudes, whatever region.
You've looked inside of another man's anus?
Is this a Christian podcast?
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Okay. I have gone to the no-no zone and it's been like, whoa. But I'm kind of like I'm a dolphin man. I'm like wearing a skin-colored wetsuit at all times.
No, I like that.
But
I like how you're trying to gloss over the fact that you've basically established that you've stared into another man's arsehole.
I saw. Well, first, you're a British man, correct?
Yeah, but you've never stared into my arsehole.
No, that's true, and that's one of my biggest regrets.
And I've asked you at least 3 or 4 times.
I'm not seeing my fortune, Jeff. I shook it up. I went to my brother's bachelor party in Las Vegas, and we got on this bus that would take you to like a range where you'd shoot automatic machine guns. And there was a British guy there with a bunch of other British guys. It was like a British bachelor party, and they flew all the way to Vegas for his bachelor party.
Right.
And I really do feel I would love to. I've never been to Britain. I would love to go. I've met a lot of nice people. From there.
We're all right. Okay. I spoke to Britain. They said.
Okay, then I believe you because I feel like the white trash from America is like one notch above the white trash from the UK.
We have exactly the same. You know the
Yobbos?
The middle America yobbos. Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, not many people say yobbos unless you're from fucking 1700s England. Yobbo, an approved yobbo.
You all are from 1700.
No. We would say like you say like we say chavs or chavs.
But they weren't wearing like a
boys.
tracksuit.
But then that actually, chavs and rude boys are the equivalent to an American, like a gangster hood rap. Whereas white trash is more like our fucking... No, actually, maybe chavvy.
Are you going to go back to Yobbo? I feel like you're just going to circle back around in a figure eight.
No, it's Yobbo. Yeah,
okay,
you were right. No, it could either be chavs or more like just fucking... I don't know. We don't even really have a name for just dumb... middle of the road fucking
we've identified it. You guys are one homogenous group apparently, which is even more terrifying.
Probably chavies, I guess. Chavs maybe.
Well, the moral of the story is that's the last not my penis I've seen, because we were on this bus going to this like gun range, and he was like yelling at the tour guide because it was like a tour.
This guy
on
was
the way.
English.
Yeah, the whole thing
was he
English.
drunk?
He was totally hopped up on cocaine and very drunk, and it was 7 a.m. They did not go to bed, and they were about
Still
to go
going from the night before. How professional
guns.
am I? I left my phone on loud.
Good. No, let people know that you're very
Oh
popular.
my God. Jeff, it's me, the English guy from
Oh
Vegas.
fuck! Damn it!
I can't believe Alex is telling that story. He was the one dishing coke out to everyone else.
Well, I wasn't, but
He's
there
not
was.
finished yet. He's not finished.
Okay, sorry.
Also, his eyes were magical. There was something about the way that Alex Corea looked at me that day on that bus as we approached Vegas gun range.
That's an iMessage. That was long. I thought that guy definitely was a green
It's an
bubble.
Instagram post. He actually he wrote a note and then he posted it to Instagram, but he tagged me in it. So
Was that his Insta or his Finsta?
his spinster?
Oh,
his
his Finstagram.
Yeah.
He's got his old mom on there.
How have we not done? There must be a comedian who's done a Spinstagram joke.
My mom is on Instagram and it scares, and Twitter, and it scares the shit out of me.
She's
'cause
single?
No.
She's not looking then.
No, but she's on. But she's just to follow me. She just like my dumb shit on social media, which like I post the stupidest shit.
Has she been sent any naughty photos by weird, creepy men from I
haven't
don't
gave
know,
her
maybe Indian
your
guy like,
information yet.
hey, excuse me, send me bobs.
She's got like the egg on Twitter. She doesn't know how to use anything. She literally logs on, just follows me, and I'm like, Mom, I'll tell you the shit I do. You don't have to go on Twitter for this stuff. It's so sad.
Yeah,
That you'd be
parents love pretending like they're being super sleuths.
Sure.
And checking on shit. My dad, the only reason he knows anything, I'm pretty sure he listens to this podcast sometimes, but I know that he stalks because I deleted him off everything. I blocked him on Facebook.
That's a good thing, is to spawn a child and then have it detached from you on social media.
I mean, I don't want to get into it, but there's the detachment didn't initiate
Sure.
from my end. But whatever, I kind of removed him from everything, and I know that he goes and looks at stuff, or he'll mention something to me. He'll like say, "Oh, what about this?" I mean, if you ask me how
your
my
dad a
life
Yabo?
is,
What was
I mean,
that voice?
kind of. He's a Cockney. He's a real Cockney. He's not a yobbo. No, he's a middle class guy now, but he was very working class growing up. So he's like, he's sort of a working class boy done good.
Well, then he would love Twitter. He would love, if he was American, he'd have a MAGA hat and like an American flag next to his username.
I don't know about MAGA hat, but he definitely voted for Brexit. But so did my Romanian foreign mum. So
But then you have the same thing that a lot of Americans have, which are like, you might not love your dad, but you love people who are close to you in your life who are also.
I love your dad.
You might. He's a Bernie guy. Feel the burn. But Britain has bad politics too. Just like you might love people who love dumb politics like Brexit.
Yeah, Britain has very stupid politics.
Oh, so back to the point was that this guy was trying to shove cocaine into people's mouths.
Yeah.
I don't know why. He had like a bag and he'd dip his finger.
Yeah.
And he'd throw his finger in people's mouth. And then for some reason he stood up, pulled his pants down, and like not helicopter, but waggled his dick back and forth, like next to a party of people he did not know. And I was like, that's like next level white trash.
Wait, what did the cock look like as well?
It looked like it was shaved like
Did he have a baby carrot?
Well, it's again, this is too much information, but it's rarer in America to see an uncircumcised penis. So that was my first, was like, well, all right. Also, it looked like it was shaved like 9 days
Looks
ago.
like an anteater, doesn't it?
Yeah, it looked like it was scared and it was hiding.
Looks like it's always doing a duck pout. When I send a dick pic, it's always got a duck pout.
It looks like Birdo
That's a funny concept.
like Birdo from Mario was about to throw up an acorn.
I'm going to write that down.
Go ahead, please use that.
Dick pic, duck pout. Uncut dick pic, duck pout.
And this is only going to end if your bit turns into like Bad Elvis and you pull your dick out. I feel like that's the only way for people to understand it. Because Americans may have never seen, men don't see a lot of other penises, and Americans may have never seen.
Hey, speak for yourself.
American men.
I have a big gay fan base, and I see a lot of cocks.
I've done that too. Why do you think that is? I've
Look at you. You're
I
a
guess
twink,
I
baby.
understand.
You're a twink.
But what about you? You're probably much more attractive
I'm considered a wolf, I think, or an otter, because I'm a little hairy, but then I also maintain and trim.
Otter
and I'm
sounds
not
like
fat.
the weird. That sounds like the wrong.
Well, it's
noun.
part of the bear sort of scene. So you got bears, then you got cubs, you got otters, you got wolves. I'm a wolf because I have long hair, but then I still have a hairy chest, but I trim it down and stuff. I maintain it. So I'm a wolf. I have
And
like
you do open clams on your chest with your little fingers.
all the time. That's an otter.
That's an otter.
I'm a wolf.
Oh,
bro. I
okay.
tear the throats out of
shit.
innocent rabbits.
El Lobo. Then what is an otter?
An otter is just like so a cub is like still pudgy, still got like the beard and stuff, but his beard is a bit short. He's not as hairy or as fat as a bear. A bear is like big and strong. They're strong and they're fat and they're like got muscle and also girth.
Sure.
And then they also got big hairy chest and a big beard. And they're like, I'm a bear and I'm gonna fuck you, boy. And then the cub is like, I'm a little bear. I've got this porridge is almost right. And then you've got the otters who are svelte. They're not fat like a bear or a cub. They're a bit thinner, but they're still, again, a little hairy, a little bit of a beard, like shorter beard. That's an otter. And then wolves have like the long hair. They're more like above the mane.
I think, first of all, I love how...
Twink.
I'm a twink, yes.
And you're a twink.
Which is not an animal at all. I love how the gay scene has... they've broken it up into animals fairly accurately until you go, what does a bear do? It starts as a cub, and it ends as a giant bear. What does it do in the middle? It turns into an otter.
Yeah,
which naturally
exactly.
is how science works.
Yeah, exactly.
Some
what
weird,
are you more
fucked up-
terrified? It should have been a badger. Should have been a honey badger. Because
Yeah.
after a full-grown bear, I think the next most terrifying thing would be a honey badger.
Yeah.
But a wolf and a honey badger. They got it wrong. It should be it should be a honey badger instead of an otter.
I'd watch that live leak fight. Whatever that URL was, send it to me. I'll watch it.
But I also, I feel like the gay community got it right. Because they went, well, let's make up names for these different versions of people that we want to fuck. But let's give them cute animal names that means no one's going to be offended by being called it. Whereas men, straight men, we came up with, like, how do you describe, well, she's a thought. Yeah, she's a whore. That girl's a proper whore. That one's a bit of a slag.
None of them are nice.
Oh, she's a keeper. Even keeper doesn't sound nice. It's like, she's something I could own.
Property.
She's property I could own.
Perfect. It's the same way I look at a house. I'll be like, good wood floors on that.
Exactly. But if we just decided, if we got together in secret, all straight men, me and you could lead the charge maybe, we'd set up the Facebook invite.
Well, if any women are watching, we do that. Straight men all get together. We decide who we're not
every now and then,
next.
but we don't tell them. Don't tell them, man. It's half the surprise.
I'll just
half the power.
I'll jump the shark if they ever...
I'll edit this out. But here's the deal, is what we could do is if we all got together en masse, maybe, one night of the week. Tuesday. Brian's busy on Wednesday. So let's do a Tuesday. We get together and we go like, hey, straight guys, we're going to recategorize what we think of women, and we're going to give them all adorable names.
Okay.
So it would be like, oh, she's a crow. That girl's a crow. Oh no, crow's the worst one to start with.
I was going to say,
but she's a peacock.
Okay.
Oh, that one's a flamingo. And blah. If you just gave them like names, see, look, I'm already fucking up. This is how bad men are.
They're all birds too.
Okay, let's redo it. What's the most adorable things we can think of?
Like a hamster is also like mousy. You can't do that. I guess. Why are they all inherently negative?
Flowers.
Oh, I like that.
Flowers.
So like a
she's a
curvier
rose.
woman is a rose.
woman who you really want to. No, a woman who's a girl who's just turned 21, who's like young, fresh. She's a blossoming rose. So she's a rose, right?
Sure.
But then a tulip is, it's dependable. It smells nice. It's all right, but it's not that exciting a flower. That's the girl she's marriage material. She's a tulip, you know. But then we go like
a sunflower is going to Dave Matthews concerts and playing
Venus
hacky
flytrap.
Oh shit.
She's a Venus. She's Venus. You just say she's Venus. That sounds beautiful. Yeah. Venus, the goddess.
Or planets.
The goddess, a planet.
Yeah.
A part of our solar systems and or an incredible godlike creature.
She's Catholic.
She's a Venus.
She's
that
Uranus.
means she will eat your dick, but you do not want to stay near her. We got to recategorize. And then women would be like, that's adorable. He thinks I'm a rose.
Yeah.
That's it. But really, he's going, I don't want to fucking...
So you're saying let's go ahead and objectify women, right?
I'm saying everyone's going to objectify...
Let's turn them into objects.
I'm saying everyone objectifies everyone.
Yes.
And to deny that is to be a fucking liar. Women objectify men objectify women, gay men objectify gay men, other men, lesbian women objectify women. We all do it. We all sexualize people that we want to fuck. We just got to recategorize how we talk about it. Straight men talk about it in a very gross way. She's a slut. She's a whore. She's a fucking... Oh, no. Yeah, she's a keeper. It's not nice. Whereas gay men... He's a bear. Oh, he's a cub. Oh, he's the little otter. Look at him. He's a sweet little wolf. I just want to... Look at this little twink. What does twink even mean? It sounds adorable.
Is it Twinkie? Because then it should just be all men should be Hostess cakes, and I'd be a cupcake. There'd be Twinkies, snowballs.
I think it's because they want to fill you with cream. That's what it is.
Oh, I already am, baby.
That's why you're a twink.
And I need to put it somewhere. I'm just glad we're objectifying people, and it's nice. So I stand behind that.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Well, I'm hoping we can Yeah, redesign how we objectify people. Let's make it nicer.
Yeah, well, I'll bring that up in the next meeting.
Like, also, I feel like there's a way to insult people without really upsetting them. Sure. Like, you can call someone, just go, oh my God, you're being such a cockbucket. Cockbucket is a funny phrase.
Yeah, one I've never heard before.
No, and me neither. I just said it now.
Can you write that down on a Post-it and give it to me? Because I'm actually going to use that.
Sure, we can get it tattooed if you want.
Next stand. Yeah, Old English across my back, please.
Okay,
cock
bucket.
Oh, not on my back, actually. It's going to be very suggestive.
Dear Alex.
Okay, you're actually writing it.
Stop being such a cock bucket.
Oh, there we go.
Love, Jeff.
Sign it with the swastika. That's weird. I don't know why.
Where the fuck is the swastika?
Are
you trying to be funny? Don't make out I'm a fucking neo-Nazi, you cunt.
He didn't. See? It was a joke. It was a joke.
Well, some people are not watching the video, Alex.
Oh, wait.
And they're going to go away now.
If you
My
look
Jewish
at
contingent...
the first letter of every word you wrote.
Thank you. Das ist gut.
No. I went to Germany. Was not a fan.
Although the first three letters of what I did right was
Das.
Das. See, I knew it.
Man, so close, but yet so far. Yeah, I went to Germany. I was not a big fan of it. I went to Gamescom. It was so.
Do you like going to gaming events?
No.
Those of you who don't know you, those are the audience who don't know you.
So everyone.
That's not true. I actually have a huge amount of my gaming audience came across the podcast. I got a lot of geek and nerd culture fans, so I think they would have an idea. They also will probably know the what was his name? Kevin
Pereira.
Kevin Pereira did a show called Attack of the Show, right?
Yes.
And Attack of the Show was like a mainstream pop culture topical. This is what's going on.
Yeah.
Reality
NBC
TV shows
in the early 2000s spent a lot of money. They lost money to try to bring gaming into the mainstream. They did a lot of heavy lifting and spent a lot of money and never made money on it. And it was a show called Attack of the Show on a network called G4.
There you go.
And it was on for about 10 years. Very weird cult following for that show that I have found myself riding the coattails of, living in the shadow.
Well, that's what I was going to say. So you started a show called The Attack for Twitch, right?
Yes. I started it with Kevin. I was in college at the time. And
he groomed you.
Yeah, he groomed me in more ways than one. That's why my balls are so smooth.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it was mostly him. And
he's a huge fan of manscaped.com. That's what I heard.
Well, you know what? I should tell him about it because he goes one by one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's how his dad did it with his teeth. But yeah, I was in college at the time, and Kevin was like, you should. I was working. He had this small production company that did commercials and stuff, and he was like, you should drop out of school. Which was the only thing I needed to hear because I never actually wanted to go to college. He's like,
that's fair.
You should drop out of school.
Come and work for me
on Monday.
But how did he meet? Like,
so
you were like what, an 18-year-old kid?
Yeah.
And he was like, hey.
Yeah. So I was on his twink forum.
Yeah.
And no, I went to a podcast festival, which was the LA Podfest. Was in Santa Monica at the Marriott. And he had a live podcast, and I asked a question.
What did you ask?
I didn't ask. I was going to ask something, but he ran out of time, and I had like a broken hand at the time, and we talked about that, whatever. And he's like, well, talk to me after the show. And then I don't know what he saw in me at the moment, but he's like, what?
He saw that you were injured and vulnerable and young.
Yeah,
and
he's
he
like,
went,
can't run very fast or open a lock with your hands. And he was like, well, what do you do? What are you looking to do? And like, I just explained that I was in college and I worked for my college TV station at the time.
So he saw you had some chops about you, a little bit of nous, a little bit of business acumen. He was like, all right, this yobbo could really work well on my network.
I think he was like, well, what did you move out here for?
He knew he wouldn't have to pay you much either.
No, he didn't for a long time.
Yeah, exactly. But he was a fucking kid.
But he was like, well, what'd you come out here to do? And I told him, I was like, well, host that show you were on. And he was like, well, it was over 2 years ago, so good luck. But then he basically, I was like, I'd like to work for you. It was me kind of being that conversation nobody likes to have, which is corner someone and say, give me a job. But
you know what? That, like, for every time that doesn't work, I'm sure there's another time where it does.
Sure. And it did. And well, he asked me, well, here's the problem. And now this other guy they're both two of my best friends, but he passed me off to his executive producer, which was this guy named Yaniv. And he's like, here's his email. And what he meant to do was text Yaniv and say, don't respond to this kid. But he didn't. So Yaniv was like, free intern.
Did he tell you that?
Yeah.
He told you that he was going to fucking mug you off.
Well, he's like, anyone who's, he was like, I can't really work with anyone who's like a fan of me. It's weird to him.
Yeah, I understand that.
Yeah. and he just did not get that text off fast enough. I went home, I emailed Yaniv, and he was like, come on in next week for a meeting. And I came in, and still somehow the message didn't get to him. And he's like, all right, you can start next week as an intern. So I just started working there. I was like, I was literally one of 2 interns, and then there was 2 people who worked there, which was Yaniv, the executive producer, and Kevin, the CEO. And I did everything.
Were you honestly a fanboy then? Were you a bit of a fanboy of
Sure.
And now you're not, because you're friends. But is there every now and then a moment like where you'll hug him goodbye and then you'll kind of go,
no, that,
oh, God, you smell good.
That's,
and then just like, but not out loud. You just think it in your head.
That was like probably like 6 months of that, but then like once you start to, and especially if someone
once
has
seen him shit,
the wherewithal to like to not try to be, because like if you're around somebody who's a fan of you, you kind of like you turn it on a little bit, and you're like, well, I gotta try to be the person that this person wants me to be.
I understand that. Yeah.
Gotta
Keeping up
be
some
engaged,
appearance,
but he like very quickly was like, you're working with me, I'm just gonna turn that off, and like you very quickly see the person behind whatever the persona is.
Super depressing, isn't it? And then you're like, oh, I wasted all this time supporting this person.
And I've especially working with someone you admire for so long, you see them. I've seen him do fantastical, amazing feats of like staying up 24 hours to like get things done and go on. Like I've seen him do things that I've been like, wow, that's why I appreciate this man so much. But at the same time, I've also seen like him fuck up a lot. So it's been it's like your dad. It's like when you become, and that's a very weird thing to, I'm now looking back 5 seconds in the past, very weird to say that. But at the same time,
Alex says that Kevin Pereira is like his dad.
And that's what they're going to play on the news when I kill him. But it's strange. Like your parents, you whether it's kind of fucked up when you learn it too young, but you eventually learn that like they're a person and they fuck up, and your parents are 2 people who fucked each other and they had a kid and they don't know what they're doing. But at the same time, it's like you learn that with people who are your heroes. If you are lucky enough to work with them, and I've with my career. And kind of getting injected into that group of people, I've met a lot of the people I idolize, and they very quickly.
Who else did you idolize?
Chris Hardwick. that came crashing down way faster than I thought it would.
What, your relationship with him or his career?
His career.
No, it's back now, and I think it was because
sure.
they've exposed that the girl who made various claims about him was lying.
Sure, but like, I think the grander thing beyond that, which like I feel like
that she should be in jail.
I have no comment about how that should have shaken out.
Oh, I do. She should be in jail. In the same way that any man who rapes a woman should be in jail, a woman who accuses someone falsely of raping them and damages their industry and their career should be in jail.
Here's my weird position on that, is that I didn't look into it, so I'm not educated enough to talk about that, and you may very well be right, and I'm not degrading that. But
it's not even about his specific thing. You didn't follow any of the news surrounding that. He's got his show back. The network dropped him for a period of time. Then they got him back because they were like, okay, she's acknowledged that this was fabricated. Sure. And I think if you're actively trying to put someone in jail, not just damage their industry and career, which he will forever be tarnished with that, even though he didn't do anything wrong. But if you're that fucking nuts that you want to try and put someone in jail because you're making up a story or trying to cover your tracks from something else, or whatever her reasoning for doing that was, you deserve to feel some kind of kickback from the law. You should be fucking locked up for a bit.
Yeah. It's tough, man. It's like it's
not to mention the damage it does to other women who have got real claims.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And like I feel like there has been parts of not to make it about the grander scale of the Me Too movement, but like there's been some times where I feel like things have reacted too quickly without, like the whole TJ Miller losing his show thing.
The internet court. You mean the people's court and the internet judging people too quickly?
The internet always knows the best about everything.
Of course.
But there have been some where I've been like, the Chris Hardwick one, I really didn't follow up. I was kind of already done with him. Because like, here's the thing.
Okay.
It's the same thing that happened with TJ Miller, which is like, I always thought he was very funny, but then I heard that he was not a good guy.
TJ Miller and I have met on 3 separate occasions.
I met him. He was very nice to me, but I can't.
I know 4 separate
people
occasions.
I trusting like not a nice guy is like.
I think it depends when you find him. I saw him once in JFK Airport. Me and my buddy were coming back from a trip to Vegas, and my buddy was a big fan of his, like really likes him from 30 Rock and stuff like that. So went over. I was like, should I go over and say hello? I said, I don't know, man, he's just got off a plane. I would be cool with it.
Yeah.
But he might be a bit like, some people are, and he looks a bit tired. He looks hungover. So he looked like he was drinking on a plane. But he was drinking at that time quite a bit. So I was like, if you want to go and say hello, you're not going to get this opportunity again, probably.
Yeah.
So maybe go and say hello. So my buddy went over and was just like, hey, man. And my buddy was a big Viner at that time. He was still kind of, prolific on Vine.
Oh, wow. This is becoming a very volatile situation. Did he bust out the phone? And
No, not at all. But he went over and he definitely went like, hey, man, I'm a fan like that. And Tim was like, oh, okay, thanks, buddy. Yeah, appreciate it. And then he was like, hey, man, do you mind if I just take a photo? Is that cool? And I had his phone. And he was like, nah.
Yeah.
Nah, I don't want to fire. Don't want to do a fire on it. My buddy was like, oh, okay. I mean, I just like, he didn't really know what to do with that. And so he kind of came back and was like, oh, he's a bit rude. He was a bit like, nah.
It's never fair, man.
And I said, well, look, first of all, he's well within his right to say, please don't take a photo of me.
Yeah.
But also, don't take it to personally. I don't think he dislikes you. He's just tired, just got off a flight. He could have just flown back from fucking UK.
Well, that's why I never trust a single person being like, he's an asshole. Because, like,
there's three more.
Asshole. Sure.
That was the first time.
Yes.
I didn't go and say hello to him. Second time I saw him was at the Comedy Cellar because we both performed there. And he was sat around a table and he was a mixture of very arrogant and rude and then occasionally seemed very nice. So I didn't really know what to think of him. And in conversation, he was all right, but we didn't really have a deep conversation.
Sure.
He won't remember any of these, I doubt. Then the third time I saw him was at someone else's comedy event and he turned up to do a drop-in spot. And people are always a bit cool when they come like that, but they're differing levels of how much they take themselves to be like a superstar.
Absolutely.
He definitely played up to the, I'm off TV, I'm dropping in to do a spot. They're putting me up even though I'm not meant to be on this lineup.
Yeah.
I'm the superstar here. And he was a bit of I was a bit like, fucking roll my eyes, whatever, bro.
Yeah.
And he didn't kill. So it's like, don't act like that unless you're going to fucking kill.
Yeah.
Secondly,
he just Dane cooked himself.
Kind of, yeah, that kind of actually. But then the last time I saw him was in New York, and he was going through the whole this latest drama because he made a false bomb threat on the and he's going through some shit. Like he's not in a right place right now.
Yeah,
which I'm understanding and empathetic to. But he was at a comedy show in New York with a buddy of mine, Aaron Berg, who knows him as well, and we were doing this show together. And we were standing outside, and I was having a smoke, and Aaron was having a cigar. And he came up and was like, hey, man, what's up? And Aaron was like, this is Jeff. You know Jeff? And he was like, oh, hey, man. I was like, yeah, we met before, actually. Blah, blah, from a cellar. And he goes, oh, okay, cool. And we had a little chat. Again, just polite conversation. And he seemed very pleasant. He was friendly. But he was outside the venue. We were still on the street. There was just the three of us. Yeah. Very different to him coming into a venue where, even though I'm cool and the other comics are cool, he's still acting a bit pompous because audience members are doing this. Oh my god!
You got to turn it on a little.
And I think that's what it was. So when you get him on his own, so I don't know if he's a good guy or a piece of shit, but I get what you're saying. It's frustrating when you meet someone who you thought was cool as fuck, and
and there's nothing you do about that. It's like, well,
what do you do? What did you tell him?
What, T.J. Miller?
You didn't tell him, yo, man, this is a real shame.
No. I was like, well, I guess I don't like him anymore. Like, I can like the things he did, but like, I'm not going to be excited about his next fucking TV show or movie.
Can you like the things? That's what I was going to say. Can you like the things he does anymore once he's been like that?
I think people are allowed to. I mean, but it's also
no. I'm asking if you're capable of doing it. Yeah.
No, because I know how things are made. Like, I know that there's a person behind the character, and I can't get behind that character if I know there's that person. But
there you go. That's exactly it.
And the same thing happened to Chris.
And that's because I'm Chris
Hart, because and it wasn't just the Chloe thing. I've heard ever since the whole Nerdist thing blew up, he has not been the greatest guy.
Right.
And it's like, well, what am I supposed to do when I know a lot of people who work for him, and there's a lot of that going around? I'm like, well, fuck. Someone I used to really idolize is like not a great guy. So I have to quickly steer away from that, or else I'm just going to get more disappointed later.
I had that with Russell Brand back in the UK. Horrendous piece of shit.
Fuck, dude. I got to get out of here.
Horrendous piece of shit. Just a nasty, vindictive, two-faced, lying cunt.
Hold on. And that one was a surprise, Jeff? Russell Brand?
Given his public persona now and certainly what he pretends to preach, this unity of all people and all humans, and the the greater powers that bind us all together as one unique entity that is delicately fabricated out of these millions and billions of people who together can achieve anything. And fuck off.
As he puts a cigarette out on Katy Perry's forehead.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Well, I mean, like. Well, he dumped her over text, didn't he? And then did a video where he was like, I want to take his wedding ring. That's what killed him in America. Fucking idiot. But he's a cunt. And lately I had one with a Chris D'Elia.
Really?
Well,
You're not him either?
yeah, I get that too.
It's weird that you just pick someone with the same hair as you. You know,
I pick people that I
love
feel,
that guy.
It's interesting. The people that I've always looked up to and admired often have been people who have qualities that I can empathize with, and also who I feel akin to in some way.
Tall, handsome men with beards and long hair.
Successful, tall, handsome men with beards and long hair. Kind of. I mean, I think there's a lot of things that I admire about Chris D'Elia. I used to listen to his podcast a lot, and then we've performed together a couple of times at the Cellar or here at the store, but not in the same lineup at the store, but whatever. Seen him around. And he and I connected over Twitter, over, me. I gave him props for something. I was just like talking about the kind of collective that he's created with him, Theo Von, their part with Joe Rogan as well, and with that crew, but Brian Callen, him. I love what they're doing, and I think it's brilliant. And I still do.
Yeah.
I still think they're great people, great performers. But he was meant to come on this podcast. We talked about it through Twitter DMs. He agreed to it. And then was like, forgot the date, and then said, oh, sorry, man, I only just saw his message, and my bad, I can't do tomorrow, but let me look at my diary when I get home, and I'm going to send you messages. And he texted that to me. He reached out with his phone number in response to, oh, here's my number when you come to do the podcast, just if you get any trouble coming in, give me a call. Yeah. And then he texted me and was like, you got my number now, let's connect on here, let's do that. I left it 24 hours. He never got back to me with a new date, checking the schedule. Yeah. So I reached out. What's going on? How are you doing, man? Nothing. So the third day, sent another message just like, hey, just a polite nudge on this. Nothing. And then I left it like another week or something. And then I was just like, hey, dude, no worries if you don't want to come on. Yeah. But like, just tell me. I feel like a bitch. I feel like you've turned me into a jilted date. Like I'm a Tinder date. You went on one day we never wanted to see again. That's okay. Just tell me. Yeah. Anyway, he never responded to anything after that. And then I just don't understand. What the fuck? Why would you reach out to me? What the fuck is wrong with you? Now, anyway, and I left it. I haven't thought about it for like 2 months, 3 months. It's annoying. It's frustrating. It makes me, it plays upon my insecurities and my weaknesses. I'm like, why doesn't this guy, why does he now hate me? After he pretended like he wanted to form, at least a respectful colleague relationship by coming on the podcast. And I understand the industry because it's my industry and I've had the success that Chris has in America back in England. So I understand when you're that busy and have that many people who want to do stuff with you. And realistically, the basis of that relationship is I definitely want him to come on the podcast because I think he'd be an interesting guest. Yeah. Be fun talk. But I'm also honest. Like if someone's messaging me too much, I'd be like, yo, bro, so sorry I haven't got back to you. I got a lot of shit going on right now. Let me reach out to you when I think I have time. Done. And then if they message me again, I fucking block them.
But sorry, keep going.
No, I mean, the bottom line of it is just now I can't listen to his podcast anymore because when I listen to his podcast, I'm not hearing the comedian persona presented.
You're looking at professional ghoster.
Yeah.
Chris D'Elia.
I'm 100% watching a guy who I respected and showed respect and some admiration to. And not like a fanboy, but like someone who's going, hey man, we perform at the same shit hot venue in New York that is considered probably the best venue in the world right now. So I'm legit and I like what you do and I want to talk with you on a podcast setting, have a few laughs. You down? Yeah, I am. If you don't ever get back to me, now I just think you're a fucking cunt.
But here's my point. Which
he's being a bitch. That's what he's being a bitch.
But I always think it's totally fair for you to expect someone to be able to be a person, a social person. But at the same time, I always find it weird when people are surprised that performers or entertainers are not good at everything they're expected to be. Because
I'm not surprised by that. What I'm surprised by is this man presents himself as someone who's doesn't act like a bitch and doesn't shit on other comics. He's more about building people up. He's shown that in what he's doing with these friends around him. I realize they've been friends of his on the circuit for 20 fucking years. This guy has a relationship with these people. He doesn't have a relationship with me. I understand that. But the basis of our initial conversation was born out of a mutual respect of, yeah, man. And now you're acting like I'm a fucking fan. Get fucked.
But I'm just saying, like, maybe this is just me being the fucking granola.
No, we need to sit him and Chris Hardwick down, and we need to have a fucking
slap
conversation.
them both across the face with one swing. No, I'm just saying, like, maybe, and I'm just like equating it to like maybe an actor isn't going to be the best at going on the Tonight Show and telling a story because they're a fucking actor. They're not the best at the junket circuit. And like maybe he puts on these airs like he's Mr. Comedy mayor and he can connect people. But the second he goes home and people start hitting him up for stuff and he's got to set these dates and stuff that he's trying to handle personally, he just gets crushed with like putting that all together.
Nah.
And he can't. Okay, so you don't buy it.
I don't buy it because he's too good at what he does. He's already proven that he can do all the things that I've described. He appears on loads of podcasts. Mm-hmm. He's got his own podcast. He goes regularly on his friend's podcast. Yeah. And he's touring, sure. He has a lot of stuff in the evenings, but he's not really shooting anything new all the time now. He does the occasional day of filming. Mm-hmm. Nah, he has an hour to come here, or he has the 12 seconds it will take him to text me back and go, bro, sorry, man, I was down for this, but then you hit me up too much and I had too much shit going on. Not feeling it. All right. I think his argument would be, I don't have to do that. You should have got that by the fact that I didn't respond.
Yeah, I don't know what entertainment industry you think you're in, but like I don't know anyone like you, Jeff. I don't think anyone's ever going to say that.
I'm not talking about the entertainment industry. I'm talking about human fucking
I think it's just from a different world, Jeff. I feel like you're a lot more straightforward than most people I know here. That's just Los Angeles.
Yeah,
that's
more developed.
That is Los Angeles. That is like nice to your face and then stab you behind your back.
Fuck those people. Fuck them. No,
you're in a city full of them.
Nah, well, yeah, sure. You don't have to be like them. You can change it. You can change it from within, and that's what I'm going to do.
Well, there you go.
When I tell someone, you
said that and pulled a sword out.
When I tell someone I'm going to return their jacket, I return their jacket.
Yeah, and sometimes you just have to make a statement about like maybe the jacket's the only thing keeping me around, and I'm just like the threat of you losing the jacket is the only thing keeping me coming back.
Absolutely retarded to say that. By the way, we're talking about the fact that I lent Alex a jacket a year ago. Get this, you want to know why?
It was a year ago.
Because we were having a little mate date. We went out and we had some food and drink, and he was cold because he didn't have a jacket.
A little chilly.
He was chilly, and so I said, "That's all right. I've got a hoodie and a jacket. Why don't you wear my jacket and I'll wear my hoodie? I got you, boo." Gave him a fucking jacket to wear, and he was like, "Sorry, man, yeah." He left, didn't give me the jacket before he left. And
that was my plan all along.
And then he was like, "You know what, bro?
Smoke bomb out of here and fucking
I'll send this to you. Let me post it to you, or let me give it to you next time I see you." Didn't make any more arrangements. And then I'm just sick and tired of being let down by people, Alex.
Am I the Chris D'Elia of jackets?
I think you are.
Fuck. Damn it. Okay, I got to stay away from the comedy store
wardrobe theft.
I'm going to get shanked.
Yeah, dude.
You know what the worst part of it is? Is that, like, I never wore it after that night. I left it in my
you didn't.
trunk.
Of course you didn't. You're just a lazy fucking 24-year-old cunt. And you put it in the back of your jacket trunk, and you never thought to send it back to me because you don't understand the importance of the gesture. It's not the jacket. I couldn't give a solitary fuck about the jacket.
It was a promotional jacket.
Doesn't matter. It was a really nice jacket. It had a little fleece line.
Yeah,
it was like a plastic outline. And so it was perfect for hiking in the mornings when it's foggy and cold, which is exactly what I want it for right now, which is why I hit you up about it again. And you left in your car, lent your car to your brother. He's now done something with it.
There's a third party entered. He had to use the trunk. He cleared it out. He didn't put everything back. It might be in San Francisco.
Tell him to fucking look.
Okay, I'll tell him to look.
Call him up now. Call him up now on your phone while I'm telling this. But here's the deal. I'm putting him on speakerphone and we're going to fucking get to the bottom of this jacket situation. But here's the deal. It was a gesture of love, man, of fraternal friendship. I was showing you I was your brother. I wanted to care for you. And also, don't give me that the jacket's the only thing keeping me around. In our friendship, who's arranged every time we've hung out? Every single time.
Chris D'Elia?
Exactly. Proving once again he's amazing at organizational skills and should really be more on top of these things. Oh yeah, also I sent Chris a message the other day because it's been like a couple of months. Sure. And I don't know if you know. No. You get your brother's number out.
I was thinking of like what's the funniest number to call?
No, you call your brother. You call your brother up.
I'm going to do it.
We're going to put him on speakerphone. We're going to say, "Hey bro, what's your brother's name?"
It's Sharky's Mexican Cantina. He's going to pick up the phone and say that.
What's your brother's name?
His name is Joe.
Joe, let me speak to him actually. I'll talk to him.
Okay. I have Tay Zonday's number in my phone.
Who?
Do you remember the Chocolate Rain guy? I don't know how I got. I don't know. That's not like a weird I'm not proud to have this number. I don't know how that got in there.
Okay, first of all, let's retrace our steps a little second. First of all, yes, you are proud to have that number.
Or else I would have deleted it. You're kind of right.
That's 100% a name drop. Otherwise, you wouldn't even mentioned it. And thirdly, that's fucking awesome.
What, Tay Zonday?
That's great.
I don't
That's
know
great that
what-
you have the chocolate rain meme guy. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, there's a song from the early days of the interwebs when there was this guy who sang a song, Chocolate Rain, I don't know you better feel the same, Chocolate Rain. And it became like an internet viral hit, and he built a career on it. Yeah. He's actually a good singer.
Yeah, he is.
He doesn't always sing in that voice. I don't know why. It was just him being silly, I guess.
I don't know why I got his number. I don't know what I was planning on doing.
I know what you're...
But I was like... Well,
raining some chocolate on him, I guess.
yeah, just drizzle that Hershey's. Okay, I'll call him right now.
Call him up. Put him on speakerphone. But I'm going to talk to him.
Okay.
You don't even need to chat to him at all. Joe, right?
Joe, yeah.
Here we go. How do we get the phone volume up on this new phone?
Hey, what's up?
Hey, Joe. This is Jeff. I'm Alex's buddy. We're on a podcast right now. Can you speak for 20 seconds?
Sure, what's up?
Wonderful. Now, Joe, you borrowed Alex's car recently, didn't you?
I did.
Okay. In the back of that car, in the trunk of that car, there were a few items. Most notably, a wonderful black rain-proof jacket with H1Z1 Pro League on it. And it's gone, Joe. Where's the jacket, Joe?
The jacket?
Where's the jacket, Joe, from the trunk of Alex's car? Where is it, Joe? It's been a year! He has to return this jacket to me.
It's probably still in the trunk of Alex's car. Did you look in that little satchel?
Oh, the little satchel.
Did you look in the little satchel?
I didn't look in the little satchel.
He didn't look in the little satchel, Joe. He didn't even look there.
Fuck. All right, maybe that's it.
Did you drive your car here today?
I did. We'll go afterwards.
Okay, Joe.
Yeah?
Thank you for the information. It's amazing how when I speak to the intelligent half of the brotherly relationship,
More true than you think.
I get an awful lot more information. So I appreciate you, Joe.
Great, great.
Enjoy the rest of your day, buddy.
Thank you so much. Hope you find the jacket.
Me too. Otherwise, you're gonna have to look for a new brother. Okay, how do I let's cancel
Yeah,
that.
you just thank you, Joe.
Thanks, Joe. Okay.
In
the satchel.
In the satchel, there's a little in my trunk. There's a little sign satchel. I'll look in there. See, that's why I should have called him.
Look how cheered up I am right now. Look how much. How much happier I am.
I'm gonna go hit Runyon Canyon tomorrow.
You could have left here, and that would be the jacket gone for the rest of my life.
Fucking have it.
You're a little thief. What did you do to that jacket? You know what I think I'm going to find in that jacket?
I
think we're going to go in the satchel. We're going to open the jacket out. I'm going to open it up, and it's going to be crunchy for some reason. And either I'm going to open it up, and there's going to be like vomit or some other bodily fluid. Like you did something with a girl in the back of your car, used the jacket to wipe it up, and you just thought, oh, I can't ever give that back to him now.
Jeff, no sex I ever has had enough fluid from anyone to be mopped up. That's never happened.
I'm so sorry for you. That should be every time you have sex.
No, it's just there's no mopping to be done.
You've never had to lay down a towel?
No, I get that waterproof mattress cover. You just wash that every couple of weeks. You just make sure. Do you do that? Do you have the waterproof mattress cover?
I have a stain cover for my thing.
Waterproof.
Well, it's white. It's like a white clean, but it's a weird soft polyester thing that you can.
So it breathes.
You can wash it, and it's not plasticky. It doesn't make when you move around on your bed. It doesn't go like sweet.
I want it to sound like I'm fucking at my grandma's house. Like if there's the plastic on the furniture.
There you go.
I just make sure everything.
I just wear diapers when I go to bed.
Good. I feel like if there was like that's got to be a thing. My least favorite thing is getting up to pee in the middle of the night. If there was a way we could figure that out as a society and as a culture, like how we fucking made cars drive themselves. There's not like a little fucking hole I can piss in my mattress. Stupid.
Yeah.
Come on, Casper.
Well, it should be one of those. It should be like a soft tubing that goes over the penis. You roll it on like a condom.
Yeah.
But it kind of grips.
But you got to do it. It's got to be super easy to do, like with your eyes closed. Because I don't want to open my eyes.
No, you just have a tube that comes from off that, and it goes into a little cistern tank that you just plug in and unplug. It's like a catheter, but on the outside of your penis rather than in your urethra.
I guess it's not fair because like you would only sell it to men. How would you sell it to women? I'm guessing like a hole in the middle of the bed.
Like a shiwi, yeah, like a shiwi.
Oh, you got to just like a big suction cup right over. I feel like
it'd actually be like almost like white noise because the constant sucking motion required to keep it, adeptly over the vagina enough that you could draw away the liquid and avoid any kind of spillage. It would have to be some kind of almost like a cup, like a shiwi cup.
But then you're getting into like vacuum sounds while you're sleeping.
But wouldn't that it would be really light,
like a white noise.
That would be beautiful to fall asleep to. Plus, it'd make the bed vibrate just a minuscule amount. She'd love it. A pussy's getting constant stimulation.
Sure, I would probably misuse it. I'd be like, give me the cup so I can take a quick dump. Like if I took a quick, like just put it right over the hole and then
You'd use the cup for pooping, whereas I thought you were going to use it for some kind of sexual aid to stimulate your penis. But no, you're straight to just taking a shit in a cup.
I don't think it would be a rare time in my life where Jeff, have you ever taken a shit laying down? I don't believe you ever have. I've never done it. Really think, because I don't think it's ever happened.
Laying down.
All
right. Well, I've never been in hospital enough that I need to take a shit laying down.
Yeah, me neither. So
I'm trying to think. You know what my mind immediately went to was, have I ever taken a poop in the sea? Because that's kind of
that's
like
almost laying down.
Well, you could be like laying on your back, right, to take a shit. And
that's such a dangerous game because then you got to get it away from you real fast.
Like, yeah, or you have to go far enough out, poop, and then swim back in.
I feel like you might need to backstroke while you're taking a dump and just kind of like leave a little
stream
mine
behind you. Have you seen that video of that guy who farts in the water? He like lifts his bum up above the water and farts, but he just sharts, and a whole stream of shit just goes.
I'd love a subreddit of just that.
Yeah.
I want that. I love.
That exists.
Oh yeah, but it's more. I want it to be funny, not sexy. Like once it gets too sexy, it's not funny anymore. Have you seen? There's a YouTuber called Bippy, and he. I might need to show you this afterwards. He's like this guy who makes toy reviews for like 5-year-olds. He wears like a bow tie and fun sunglasses and suspenders.
How old is he?
Probably like 30.
He's probably on TikTok, right?
I don't know, but
Must
I know
be.
on YouTube, TikTok is a fucking cesspool. We can
Or
talk about
fucking
that next.
pedophiles, yeah.
Yes, but he makes these like YouTube toy reviews.
Bippy, B-I-P-I.
Yes,
I'm just gonna look him up. I just wanna
B-I-P-P-Y, whatever.
I mean, well, those are very different names.
I know you might have to look at both. And that noise is his Gestapo outside trying to get us. He has this weird video he made in like 2014, like 3 years after Harlem Shake, where it's called Harlem Shake Poop. And it is him on the toilet, and the music is building up. And
Blippy. His name is Blippy. Blippi.
Yes. And there's a video of him, right as the music drops, he switches from sitting on the toilet to standing on the rim of the toilet, ready to take a shit, and he has another friend naked, spread eagle with his asshole in the air, and Bippy, naked ass. Blippy, sorry.
Harlem Shake.
If you look up Blippy Harlem Shake Poop, it'll take you to some Russian.
Oh my god, that's the first thing that comes up.
Yeah. It's him.
YouTube toddler star regrets making video on. That's the first thing that comes up. Yeah, I mean that makes sense.
It's him shitting into the asshole, like a huge shit, firing right as the Harlem Shake drop on his friend.
How kids YouTube star Blippy used copyright law to hide his video. I want to see the fucking video.
If you just look up the video, there's like some Russian link website. No, not on YouTube. It's got to be like a dark web thing. I'm sure you'll find it on some like link sharing website.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
It is an amazingly disgusting video that I've never seen, but it still made me laugh so hard. And I think just like there's also Poop Shotgun, which is the guy who drinks the beer on the toilet and then fires a shit. What is wrong
with these people?
I don't know. Have you ever seen the one where the guy does a flip?
Here you go. I'm about to find it. Reddit. Good old Reddit.
Oh, there you go. It's going to be some sketchy-ass website, I promise you. Like, don't click any of the pop-ups, but you will find the video.
I'm clicking the link. Here we go. It's Russian. Totally
there
Russian.
You go. See?
Those Russians, they love
Just
it.
don't click any of the download or, like, install Flash Player. Did you click through it?
It's playing. Okay. It's about to play. Wait, so Okay, let me just watch this. How long is it?
It's like 20 seconds long.
Best VPN for... No, thank you.
Yeah, don't click those. That is an e-worm.
Come on, Blippy shit video.
Come on.
So he
Whatever
does
Russian
a Harlem
server
Shake where
this
he
is connected to.
Poops. Yeah, I mean, it's trying to get all my details. It's finding out if I support Trump or not.
Yeah, so, but like, there...
Here you go.
Okay, yeah, just really, it's alarming, Jeff. Like killing more pop-ups.
He's in a helmet.
Yeah.
A cycling helmet.
And you're like, oh, what's the funny Harlem Shake going to be? And then, bam, right into... So what was he doing? How did he regret? How did he not regret it so much he didn't?
Can I just see?
Edit it. And
I need
post
to.
It.
I need to. I need to recount what just happened for the audience.
Please do. Regale us with the tale.
It starts with Blippi, I'm assuming. That's Blippi in the helmet.
Blippi on the toilet.
Blippi is on the toilet in a pair of sunglasses and a cycling helmet.
It looks like he's going to do like a rollerblade video in the 80s.
This is why I don't trust any of these motherfuckers on YouTube who do stuff for kids. If you do anything aimed at children and you're not a teen or younger, if you're not a tween or younger and you're doing content for children, I don't trust you, man. I immediately... Peter. In my head, I'm thinking there's something wrong with this guy. This guy, and I'm not saying that I haven't done disgusting shit and I'm a different person, but he's sitting on the toilet in a cycling helmet. He's dancing on the toilet with his trousers around his ankles. He then, when the beat drops, it cuts to him standing on the rim of the toilet. His friend is upside down, naked.
Yeah, spreading his butt.
Spreading his butt. And Blippi squeezes and shits liquid shit out of his arsehole onto the other guy's arsehole.
An amazing amount, too. Even if it was just a video of him not shitting on someone,
I'd be like, splashes all over the wall and on the guy's face and stuff, and then he almost pukes.
I love how he regrets it so much. This was such a lapse of judgment. He put up plastic painter's tarp in his bathroom to catch the shit, which is not even enough because the spray back hits the towel rack. Like, it goes all over the place. So he planned, but not even enough for the shit that he took.
And now he makes content for fucking toddlers.
And he's like, well, I have to scrub the internet of that. Just go be an accountant. They're never going to find that if you're nobody. But he chose to be like, well, I should make children's videos. I hope no one finds that weird thing I did a couple years ago.
Video I did where I shit on my friend.
And posted to Harlem Shake Poop. He regrets it so much that he bought a domain name and re-forwarded to that video. Like, if you have to go on GoDaddy and register your address to get a domain name, you can't be like, well, that was a big lapse of judgment.
No, that was a business decision.
Yeah, you're like, I'm going to be the Harlem Shake Poop guy.
Wow.
Which, I mean, he could have taken a whole different direction. If he just went Jackass, that would have been funny.
Yeah.
Now that he makes videos for 6-year-olds, just like, red flag. He fucked up.
How do they not get it? That's what I don't understand. All these guys on the internet that fucking, all of these YouTubers who've been found out for trying to fuck 13-year-old fans and stuff like that, or 15 or, illegal whatever in their state, fans. How do you not think? Like, if you're broken in the head, now, don't get me wrong, someone who's never acted on their impulses, who is a pedophile, I feel very sorry for those people. I want them to be helped, because it's a mental illness, sexualizing children, and it's generally gross generalization I'm making, but I think it's often born out of being assaulted and sexually abused as a child yourself. But how, if that's what you've decided to do with your life, I'm gonna fucking you don't get into fucking YouTubing and making content for kids. Don't become a teacher at a school. Go out and see a therapist. Hey, that's what you should do. See a therapist and try and rectify this fucking broken part of your brain. But if you're going to act upon that weird shit, you're fucking dumb.
Go be a garbage man. Go do something else.
Go and rifle through.
Schnitzel.
Exactly. Go and be a garbage man and rifle through old bags to get diapers out. If that's what you're into, that should be... You know what I'm saying? If you're into poop and kids, go be a garbage man and go and fucking do that. No one's ever going to go, I think our garbage man's looking through the... No one's going to do that. No one gives a fuck about the garbage man.
Welcome to Pedophile Tips with Jeff
I know,
Leach.
isn't it? That's what it sounds like. Sorry.
Well, just don't go make a Fortnite video. Honestly,
you know what I'm saying, though?
Sure.
Because so many of these influencers for kids, this is why I don't trust any of these fucking cunts, especially these people on Twitch. All these, the thoughts on Twitch. The fucking girls selling sexual content to underage kids predominantly, or lonely 30, 40-year-old men. The idea that you do that and then pretend like it's not what you're doing...
Well, did you see that?
How dare you?
Did you see that that guy who worked at High Res? He was like a Twitch partner. The pedophile, and that it was like, well,
he wasn't just a Twitch partner. He worked for Twitch as well in the partnerships team.
Point. Well, there you go.
He worked at Twitch. He worked at High Res Studios. But pedophile, and he's like what, 23 or something?
He was like 25, yeah.
Fucking.
But I'm waiting for like the shoe to drop on, because that's never happened on Twitch before. YouTube has had that over and over again, but Twitch.
Well, pedophiles.
Yeah.
Guaranteed there's pedophiles on Twitch.
Yeah.
Guarantee it.
And that's gonna be a huge, because like it already feels bad if you're a parent and your kids.
I can't wait.
If your kids are watching,
I can't wait.
You're just sitting there with popcorn and a little seat. You know what? In your mouth like Garfield.
I guarantee by now, given the amount of other drama that's come out of Twitch, most notably sexualization of content for kids and stuff like that. That's been a big hot topic issue. But I do think there's already been instances of pedophiles being caught on Twitch. I just think they probably have a team dedicated to locating that content, getting rid of that content creator immediately, giving it to the police, and also keeping all the press and the media surrounding it locked in. You know, get rid of Reddit posts, get rid of stuff like that, because that would kill their platform. If a parent goes, I've just read a thing in the New York Times about pedophiles on Twitch. You're not watching Twitch anymore.
Yeah, well, and it's so much like a YouTube star is like, well, that's already, they have so much access to these kids, and they talk to them every day, and like a parent must be like, well, that feels real shitty. But if like your kid watches them live for 4 hours a day, first of all, if I was a parent, God forbid, holy shit. And my kid was watching Twitch streams, I'd be like, and I still do stuff on Twitch. I'd be like, I don't think they should watch that guy for 4 hours a day play a video game. Like, is that replacing their friends? I don't understand how that's a healthy relationship. And then to find out that person is a predator is like, holy shit, that's going to be a huge problem.
Who do you think it's going to be? Ninja?
No, probably not.
Ninja, or I don't know.
I don't. Well, Ninja. People forget.
He's got a lot of money. I can't make that kind of a claim. By the way, that's a complete fabrication. I have no idea.
Oh yeah, because he's wealthy enough to be litigious. He's gonna be like, oh yeah, fuck Jeff Leach.
Send
one of my 3.
Oh, he'd hate me as well. I'm pretty sure. I met Ninja a couple of times. I'm pretty sure he would not be my biggest. Well, actually, be alright. I guess. I don't think I'm not douchey enough for him and his circle.
I have. Now, let me finish this. I have nothing bad to say about him, except for I cannot believe that he is getting away with saying he is refusing to play with women. I can't believe it. Like, he's like this weird Mike Pencean, like, well, it's not respectful for me to ever play with a female player. Ever, unless I'm in a Samsung commercial. Like, he has said before that it's not respectful to his wife to play with another female streamer. So he will, I'm gonna play with Tim the Tap Man, but he's playing with this female streamer, won't join him, won't play. Tim's got to come over.
Are you serious?
Yeah, he said he can't, because he's like, well, what if?
I think that's just another power move, isn't it? Just for him, it's like another opportunity to swing his dick.
Sure, whatever it is.
If he just trimmed the hair around it a little bit, then he wouldn't have to swing it so high.
Is this?
Yeah, you keep moving it lower. I just need you in front of it. It's all right. I can turn you up again. Don't worry, bro. No, don't worry about me. I'll just keep constantly changing your audio settings.
Yeah, please wrangle the kittens.
You've only been a professional
audio.
fucking broadcaster for almost 7 or 8 years.
Let me continue shitting on the biggest guy on my platform.
There you go.
Yeah. It's insane. It's absolutely insane. And like there have been people.
So do you think he just doesn't like playing with girls? He just thinks girls are not as good at games?
That's the difference between me and you, Jeff, is that I don't think it's a smart idea for me to speculate why he doesn't do it. But
by the way, I'm permabanned on Twitch for having an opinion on another streamer.
But his hypocrisy has been absolutely deplorable. I feel like there's been people who have been, whether I'm not even gonna say what company it's at, but there's some people who have been actively giving him money, and I've been like, How do you guys deal with the burden of him saying that, and you continue to support him and give him money when you also support other females, you sponsor these other females, whatever, and then for him to be like, fuck those people, and you're still like, well, here's $100,000.
You know what? You want to know why? Money.
Sure.
Money, views, audience.
But a lot of the times, especially people like, and I'm not saying it's Twitch, but people like Twitch have looked at the fact that, hey, there's a lot more money to be made if we cut out toxic people. And I'm sure that's what they thought about you incorrectly when they made a move on you, where they're like, listen, it's all damage control. But for them to look at Ninja and be like, and I guess it's fine. I guess they were right, because the earth has been like, it's fine.
This is why I was upset about my permabanning. If they thought that they were actually kicking me off, first of all, you can't, like, getting permabanned on your first offense for making a comment about another streamer, an offhand comment as a joke.
I still disagree with yours.
Chat show. Yeah.
Sure.
No, I appreciate that. But I mean, for a little background, those of you who don't know, I streamed on a platform called Twitch. A girl that I'd refused to have sex with at an event 2 years prior because I didn't find her attractive. Had it out for me. She and I had a bit of a back and forth. She refused to come on a chat show that I was appearing on. And then one of the co-hosts read out a comment that her community she sent across to shit talk me said to the effect of, oh, this person doesn't want to come on because of this arsehole. And I said, no, she doesn't want to come on. I responded to it because it had been read out and I'm a comedian. So I said, no, she didn't want to come on because then she'd have to display humor or intellect instead of just displaying her horrendous cleavage, which is a very apt and poignant review of her content. And since that date where she got very upset and called me a misogynist and a woman hater, hashtag me too, she even involved there. I'm like, really? Despite all of that shit being completely fabricated and bullshit, she now paints her breasts on stream for her 11-year-old audience. So, I mean, really, was I wrong? No, not in the slightest. But here's the issue. even though I didn't deserve that, if Twitch were operating on a very strict, if you say anything about another person's body or shit talking another streamer, you're gone. If that was how it worked, A, I wouldn't have made that comment. B,
Sure.
it would have been like, if I knew that was what it was going to result in. But B, then I'd be okay if that existed across the board. But they're never going to clamp down on Alinity or Amaranth because they sell sex and sex sells.
But you would have
They're
been
never
fine if
going to
they-
clamp down on Ninja or who's the other one? Who's that fucking guy who's always drama and he's mates with Greek God. Greek God's one of them on that list.
Oh, I have very
Mitch Jones. If they're not going to clamp down on Ninja, Mitch Jones, Greek Gods, because they're literally instigating drama, arguments, problematic things, shit talking, trolling. If they're never going to clamp down on those people, they won't, because it's money. It's views and money. And they've taken all the shitty drama people from YouTube and they've gone, here's a platform you can make more money on. And people going, okay. Yeah. And all the porn actresses or all the porn girls from my free cams, they've gone, you can make money without having to, fist your own arsehole. And they're like, really? Cool, I can do that.
I agree with that sentiment, and I also, my problem is, like, there are people who I'm like, how are they still? Jeff, I've had a channel banned off Twitch.
Are you serious?
Not really, not technically, but we were asked to leave. So, but at the same time, I know how bad it can be because
well, hang on a sec. What channel got banned and why?
The Attack didn't get banned. We left. So here's what happened.
Oh, this is recent. Right. So this is the story. I'm like, we're an hour in, but let's keep going because
Sure.
you're okay. You haven't got anything to rush off to.
No.
I thought you were still. We haven't really connected for a while, almost a year.
I'm
I
hiding
guess.
the fact that I've lost your jacket for that long.
I mean, I don't know if it's embarrassment that stops you from ever reaching out to me, but whatever it is, I reached out to you. It's nice.
Jeff,
it's good.
If this makes you feel better or worse, I don't know. I don't reach out to anyone. I am a homebody.
That makes me just think so am I. You're just a cunt who doesn't reach out to his friends, especially once you've shown him, vast amounts of support and love for what they do. Anyway,
That's true. The more they support me, the more I hate them.
Whatever. Point being, I didn't even know that the Attack wasn't on Twitch anymore. I thought it was still in operation, etc.
Which is both a blessing and a curse
Okay,
because
so-
not a lot of people knew much about it because a lot of people didn't follow. But at the same time, we were.
That's lies. You had a lot of followers.
Yeah, but moderate, not enough to pay for such a large operation because it was always a loss leader. But at the same time, yeah, I mean, it was definitely something that had an impact on a lot of people.
Did you have sponsors for a program?
Absolutely. We didn't have a good sales department. We were always just trying to keep our head above water because it was.
How much will you make it? Give me real hard facts. If let's say a lead sponsor of the thing, hey, the Attack is brought to you by so and so today, and maybe you do like a 15-second ad readout for them or whatever. How much would you have got paid for that per episode?
At the height, probably for like a simple ad read like that, like $800.
Oh, that's not bad. That's not bad per ep.
Yeah, sure, but we didn't have a sales guy, so we weren't always doing that.
Why didn't you see that would have paid dividends? Because if you could had 5 decent lead sponsors or something per ep.
Because I mean, to look at how the show, because the Attack was like it was an operation that had maybe at its height working on that show maybe 15 people.
Right.
But everyone was maxed out. Like, it's very hard to look back and say, well, if we just did that, because everyone who worked on that show.
Keep talking. I'm just going to get you a bottle of water.
Oh, please. People didn't understand that everyone was maxed out. Usually when you make a show like The Attack, or like to look at the Attack of the show, which was probably twice as good as the show we made.
Right.
Had 45 people working on it. That's how much a TV show takes to make, all in all.
Yeah.
Well,
it depends what you're doing. TV can be made for next to nothing, but in this day and age, if they want to get the content and they want it to be like 4K, etc., etc.,
a daily,
you need
5
like
days a week,
5
live
cameras or something,
variety show.
Yeah.
That was live. You need 45 people.
Sure.
Jimmy Fallon's show has over 100 people.
Sure.
Ellen has like 200 people. It's crazy, but.
But 100 of those just have to stand in a dressing room and they face the wall completely naked. So instead of walls, she just has naked people all the way around. And at different points, depending on how she's feeling,
she just fires one.
Yeah, she'll just like backhand buttocks. Like
I'm
that.
glad you also know she's not a very nice person.
Oh, I don't. Is she not?
No.
According to whom?
According to a writer who worked on her show for a couple of years.
Again,
A writer, but like...
I bet she's great if you're just friends with her.
Oh, sure.
I bet she's awesome to like go around her house for dinner.
You know what? As someone who had to have even a very small modicum of a team like that, you can't. It's not worth it to lock into like, well, I'm working now and I can be a cold asshole because I have to be.
Sure. You don't, and it's never good to be rude to people you're working with.
And the same thing with the TJ Miller thing is like it's a lot of people who worked with him, not a lot of people know him personally. And it's like, you can't do that. You can't, just because you're in a position of power and like people have to be nice to you doesn't mean you don't have to be nice to other people.
Question. You say you can't be like that, but TJ Miller is still very successful, and Ellen is one of the most successful women in the world.
It's not worth it. It's not worth it because it's at the end of the day.
I think when she climbs into a private jet with her hot wife and they fly off to the private island she probably owns, and they're tanning their fucking pubic hair whilst gorgeous nubile women bring them coconuts filled with rum punch and then massage their labia.
Sure.
I'm pretty certain at that moment she's going, this is worth it.
And if they can do that, good for them. But I personally,
she can pay 100 people to stand around her and go, it's worth it, it's worth it, it's worth it, which is what Scientology is basically.
Yeah, that's all. And their thetans are going lower, and it's better. I'm just saying, like personally, I found that because listen, when I did the attack, my head was underwater the entire time. I didn't know what I was doing, and a lot of the times I was not very nice to a lot of people. And I've walking away.
Who were you most mean to on the attack?
It's not the juiciest one, but like probably my executive producer who was in charge of that show.
Have you ever apologized? Have you ever had?
Absolutely. He almost quit a couple times.
Have you ever had like an honest, hey man, I just want to say I was just thinking about it, and let's call him right now.
No, we've had this conversation before. But it was a guy named, and I'm still very good friends with him, one of my best friends. His name was Corrado. He worked on Attack of the Show. He was a very competent guy.
His name was Corrado.
Corrado.
Steve now. He's changed it.
Yeah, well,
for ease.
It's Ellen now. He wants those Thai villas. But like very often I was just not nice to him, and he knew a lot more than me, and I didn't trust his judgment because I think he didn't understand the space, and he would say something and I would directly negate it, and then what are people gonna listen? Even EPs have to bow down to what the talent is saying sometimes. Especially
in your setup, not normal TV shows, the talent does exactly what the fucking producers wants them to do.
True.
Because they're hired by the producers.
But I also wasn't just the talent.
You were hiring people. You were running operations there as well.
Yes.
Yeah. So.
But it's tough to be called into like, you know, he quit a job at like a very established, like at fucking E! Entertainment, to come work on this thing with his friend Kevin, and then I became good friends with him. And then for him to be told no by a fucking
12-year-old.
Yeah, by a 12-year-old, and then have me kick and scream, be like, I know what's best. A 12-year-old
twink.
Yeah. And dude, I'll show you a picture of him. He was huge. He's like a 300-pound, like ginormous dude, muscle. And but it's like, it sucks to be in his position a lot of time where like, you know, he's just trying to help out, and he has a little fucking asshole telling him he knows what's best. And but like so
you're saying you're as bad as Ellen, or
no? I'm just saying I know how easy it is to be an asshole, and I do think that sometimes I was right, but even when I was right, it's not worth it, because I've been a guy who has been able to have his dream show.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, it sucks to have the show still go away, because every show goes away.
Well, hang on a sec. You're going to tell me why it went away. So what happened at the end of the relationship with Twitch then? Why did it kick?
There was, and this is all very public, there's a fucking Polygon article about it, but Kevin was...
it was Kevin Pereira.
Kevin Pereira.
Who was still the owner of the production company,
and is
putting
still
it
the
on,
owner.
Right?
He's
the owner of nothing now, because he doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, he's gone. But he had a passwords doc open, which is bad enough. Someone took his laptop from a live show he was doing, the feed, and it had a passwords doc open. And one of the passwords was for a view botting website, to which he claimed it didn't even work. He said he signed up for it and it didn't work. And I never knew about, and that all turned into Twitch finding out about it, because we had a...
How did this passwords doc get seen by people?
We did like a podcast where his laptop had a live feed and someone accidentally switched to it. It was just, he like opened a bad file on his desktop. You know, on Mac.
How do you fuck up that badly? If you're going to use shit, first of all, and have all your passwords in a log, in a file, All right,
Bad
yeah.
move.
These are all questions you've already asked and probably screamed and ranted when you were.
No, here's the general thing. I very quickly, within a week, he told me on one day, and he said, "I'm going to delete the channel by the end of the week." And he did before we could get banned or anything happened. He was just like, "Well, we're leaving," because even if everything he said was true, which is like whatever he says, I believe. He's my best friend. Even if that was true and he used it and it didn't work, it doesn't matter. I don't blame him for anything, because here's what happened at the attack. The attack started as a show in a fucking closet that we rented for $1,000 a month, and grew into a television show. And it went from me and Kevin and one other guy working on it to, again, 15, 16 people all making this show. And then after the Disney...
Great period of learning, great period of creative,
It was my college.
You made some fucking dope stuff as well.
Yeah, it was my...
Some of those little skits, like the Dr. Disrespect one, that was very funny.
And
really enjoyed that.
I'm glad I got to do it on somebody else's dime and time. Like
Yeah.
It was a very rare experience. And after the Disney run, we alienated a lot of our audience by not just going on Disney, which had some people pissed because we were always trying to push the envelope on what you could do on Twitch. But okay, we're going to this family-friendly brand was not as bad as to make that TV show happen. We had to move, which took 2 months. We had to build a new studio, which took another month. We had to put a team together. We had to shoot that show. So we couldn't do the show while we were shooting the show. And what we would do is we'd shoot the Disney show live on Twitch, and you'd see the television production, which sounds like a great idea, but was not what the people wanted. So we alienated a lot of our audience after that run, and Disney canceled the block that we were on. So there was no longer a need for our show. So we had a team that was way too big for a show that didn't have the same money coming in. So we had to quickly prune off people. But we didn't want the show to die because we've been building it up, and there was still a modicum of an audience that wanted to see it.
Sure.
So we just scrambled, and we kept trying to make the show while making money in other places to support people that in any other business would have just been laid off because the show's over. Show wrapped up and your job is gone.
Yeah, you're gone, yeah.
But we built these people from, a lot of these people from out of college, interns.
Yeah.
And what are you going to do? And we love these people. So we kept it going.
Well, that's very, that's very, not respectful, what's it called?
Noble?
Admirable.
Admirable.
It's very admirable to try and do that, but also, yeah, you're right, bad business. Yeah, you kind of go like, okay, guys, we're no longer Disney project, so everyone who was a new hire, for instance, sorry, anyone who wasn't part of the old guard.
So bad business practice started because we love these people.
Sure.
And what are you going to do when Twitch stopped giving us...
You didn't want to piss off the 300-pound muscular guy either, did you? Because he'd break your he'd snap you in half.
No, he's a big teddy bear, which is why I was able
when
to take
he's
advantage of him.
employed, if you'd fucking fired him after the shit you gave him on set, speaking down to him like that, he's your fucking elder. He's got wisdom that you couldn't even hope to have.
Sure, and he
would have picked you up and he would have snapped you over his knee like a fucking twig, like a walking stick, just... Gah!
Yeah, and I didn't want that to happen.
Beautiful little sexy smooth body would have snapped like a spine of a dolphin.
And I was like, this isn't how I saw that happening.
And
I
you were
thought
like,
it would
I
be
can't do
more
that.
fun.
Better keep him employed. Better scramble.
And I really did like it was.
How far did you go to try and make sure everyone could keep getting paid? Like, what did you have to? Did you ever have to?
I would have. Like, I watched that
sucked
Fire Festival doc, and that guy was like, I would suck a dick for this. I would suck 100 dicks for those people.
That was the most wonderful part of that entire documentary.
Shit.
This
Give that guy a Medal of Honor.
50-year-old guy basically going, and he got to a point where I was going to go down to the... I like also for a start that he just assumes the port authority guard was just going to go, yeah, I'll let this gay white guy suck my dick in return for releasing the water that's being held at customs.
Well, if you know anything about those guys, there's a 50% chance he would have been like, this is all I've been waiting for my entire life.
A 50-year-old white guy from America to suck my dick.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like a
Those
customs authority, port authority guy in a Jamaican island would be like, nah, I'm all right. I'm surrounded by...
you know what? When you said port authority, I was thinking the bus terminal, which I did have to suck some dick to get home one time. But it got to the point where, yeah, we were losing money, and like someone who has had a lot of skin in making sure that the Attack as a production company has made existing, like I wasn't pissed at all that like, oh, we were doing this to a detriment where like we were about to be out of money for everyone, not just to pay these people, but like shutter the doors. we spent all the money on making sure these people were employed. Everything we made for the past 4 years is going to go away.
Okay, yeah.
And Kevin got to the point where he was like, listen, Twitch obviously stopped giving too much of a shit about the show to promote something that, I always
Well, you were in direct competition, I think, in a lot of ways with Twitch Weekly. And unfortunately for Twitch, your show was infinitely better than theirs and still is. So the problem for them was, why would we put all this stock and interest into supporting another show on our platform that is better, much higher production value, funnier, well written, well presented, whereas we want to have 4 fucking idiots from our office come on and go, that's great, yeah, it's been a really great week for like Twitch stuff, let's check out what's been going on now, wow, this game's really cool, what do you think? Yeah, well, I'm your husband, that's why you employ me, although we're divorced now because our marriage was an entire sham and based on our fucking inability to hire anyone else because we're so fucking minimalized by our fucking anyway, whatever. Cunt.
And let me protect my paycheck. No. All right.
What paycheck?
What?
What paycheck are you getting from them anymore?
Twitch still pays me sometimes.
To host for them?
Absolutely.
Oh, okay, sure. Different thing. All right. Well, that's cool. I'm glad that Anna's still giving you work. I'm glad that,
it's not her, I still think Anna's a very nice lady, and I like her.
I mean, she's just like false. She's fake, and she's two-faced. She's a hypocrite.
And Jeff,
interesting. I'm glad that her and her husband broke up because she and I, first time we met, talked very openly and talked about the fact that if she ever wanted to get a little dalliance away from home, she'd come and fuck me.
Do you think I'm going to be a big hit on this podcast, Jeff? Because I think you have a lot of people come in who can speak their mind, and in some respects, I am a corporate shill, and I want to make it clear that that's not why I like those people. I do like those people.
Are you a corporate shill?
No, but I am. I do play things close to the vest. I'm not. I don't think some things are
I'm not
worth
asking you to shit on Anna Prosser or any of the staff members at Twitch. I'm just asking you to...
Oh, no. Will I ever actually sell out and do something that is against my code
morals and ethics? Yeah.
For money? No. But
there's a lot of people out of that company who do.
Sure.
And that's unfortunate. They're hypocrites, and there's a lot of hypocrites and liars and two-faced people who don't really understand it.
But I think you are a true comedian and that you think it's worth it to say what is...
I'm perma-banned on that platform. I tried reaching out once when it first happened, and once again a couple of months ago, 2 or 3 months ago, to say, hey, listen, it's been a long period of time. In fact, the most recent one, it's been over a year since I got perma-banned. I still did some amazing things on that for that community and for the chat and for your company. I did some great hosting, ran a Comedy 101 panel at TwitchCon for 2 years that was packed to the rafters. Not to mention a lot the whole thing that you were upset about, that my comments that I made during IRL Watch, passing comments about Twitch girls with their tits out, and I'd be like, what is this? How is this content? That comment was way overshadowed, or should have been, by the amount of good shit we did, like building up smaller channels, getting them thousands of new followers. We raised money for a woman with cancer. We had I did like dance off and painting sessions.
As well as being very talented.
And also actually gave some decent content that was different. All of that was overlooked because a couple of fucking neckbeards at the company and one two-faced whore didn't fucking like me. They didn't want me there because they knew it was a threat to them because I'm too honest and too straight up.
I think that's
why I'm
not
scared to talk like this about the company because they don't do anything for me. Unless you're paying my fucking bills, I don't give a fuck about you.
Sure. And I think that makes
as a company
I think that makes you a true comedian. And when I did stand up, Jeff, that's why I stopped, because I was not like, I saw people who would eat shit over and over again, which I still don't know if this is the best way to do it, but people would eat shit and then go do 3 sets that night and do the same shit. I'd be like, why would you not be like, pivot? But they're like, that's just what you got to do, man.
No, it's not true. They're just not good comics.
But I think there's something in their DNA where it's like, maybe that guy was just bad, or those group of people I used to do stand up with were bad. But at the same time, it's like, you do have to be a crazy person when you're like, fuck, I'm doing real bad tonight.
Sure.
Got to do it again. Where I'm like, I would just be like, I'm fucking done. I already fucked up twice.
Sure,
tonight.
yeah, you weren't cut out for stand-up.
No.
But you're very funny and very off the cuff as well. That's one of the reasons it's nice to have you on this, because I've always thought you were very entertaining, very naturally entertaining, very engaging. The thing is that it's not me trying to be a comics comic and a real guy. I've just decided that there's ways to be very successful without acknowledging the fucking whims and cares of bullshit two-faced people. And I know you say the industry's like that. The industry has a certain stable of two-faced bullshit people, of course. That's a natural thing. I think you don't have to be that way to still be successful within the industry.
Dude,
look at someone like Adele as a musician. Adele's very fucking straight up. She's very naturally talented, and she knew how to be nice to the right
Jeff.
people.
Like, you could do anything you want now.
There you go.
But my point, I guess my whole thing is like, it's not worth it a lot of the time because I just end up working with people all the time, and I don't
understand why you're not hosting, why you don't have an agent constantly getting you in for major TV shows to be a new host. Go and change it from the inside, but do it on a bigger world.
But my whole thing is like,
it's got to be gaming.
I never say any of the things that I feel about people because I don't want my job to get harder. It's not because I don't want to lose jobs. It's legit like I made a lot of mistakes when I was first started this to like shit talk people, and then a year later I was sitting next to them and I was like, oh fuck, why did I do that? To feel better in that moment or to speak some truth that I felt needed to be said? And I'm like,
no, we discussed this at dinner last time we hung out.
Yeah, and it's like,
it makes sense. I think you have a very mature outlook of the industry. I'm just saying this is not me. When Twitch or people at Twitch come up in passing conversation and I shit on them, it's not because I'm trying to be like, look at me, drama. It's because I'm going, nah, here's my honest take of who that person is.
And you don't think it's right. You think something's wrong.
Really wrong.
Sure.
And also beyond it being wrong and hypocritical and judgmental and bullshit and vacuous and fake and two-dimensional and all the other things I could apply to a lot of people at Twitch, especially on the staff side of it. Here's the thing, is that they've made it very clear at this point that they have no desire to allow me to do all the great fucking things I did in that platform because of those hypocrisies and bullshits and personal little vendettas, etc., etc. So there is no business fallout for me on this podcast. I guarantee that none of those people listen to this podcast, nor would they. Of course not. You know, and if they did, great, good.
Got them.
No, more like, yo, wake up. You're gonna die miserable.
Well, here, like an example I like to use is like I don't normally take time to be like, hey, I'm gonna call this person out because a lot of the time it doesn't do anything. It makes the people who agree with you already agree with you.
Well, we're having a conversation about your show and about Twitch, and think people have come up. I don't think.
I don't think you're getting on a soapbox. This was all.
It's your fault, Alex.
I'm thinking about me, Jeff,
I mean, if they want to blame anyone for this, it should be Alex Corea.
But like I have
and Alex's career should be affected by
it. My Korean career. That's where I'm gonna go. If all fucks up in America, I'm just gonna go South Korea, wear a lot of makeup, dance around.
I just don't understand why you're not already hosting a major show on whatever.
I don't think I've also like I don't think I'd be happy. Like especially doing a lot of freelance stuff, like I go do it and it's fun to go talk places, but like I'd be more excited, and that's what I do on a daily basis. I try to sell things because I would love to be in front of something that I get to do. I've been the host of things, and a lot of the times things are just bad. People make things that are bad, and you have to go and stand in front of them, and you have to make the best out of it. But I've done that, and I've also done the thing where you're in charge of all of it. So I've written and produced and made the decision and then had to go stand in front of it. And it feels so much better and worse to be like, to stand in front of something that you made really good. And it's a lot more powerful to stand in front of something that you made bad.
Here's the thing. Look, this podcast is a perfect example. This is a one-man show, right? Produce it, engineer it, write and prepare and research it, book it, and then I host it.
Sure.
And then I'll edit it afterwards and upload it and do all the copy and do all of that. It's a huge amount of work and all the social media. I do everything for. This is just one of my 12 fucking jobs I do every week, right? You don't need a team of 15 people. You don't need tons of money, but you have the ability. You have a name. You have some profile. You have a lot of things you could bring along with a few good people. If you really focus on doing something, I think you're being wasted. If you've been a year off Twitch as the attack, what are you doing? Like, what's next? Because I think you could assemble a very small team of people and make incredible fucking content. Sure. It doesn't have to be for Disney or that kind of level of thing. You could really build a massive audience on YouTube as a platform or something like that. And then you start making the money. My buddy Andrew Schultz, I use him as a reference all the time now. He's a comedian from New York. He shot a comedy special with his own dime, saved up money. They shot a comedy special for like $20,000 or whatever. And no one wanted to buy it. Netflix, blah, 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 whatever. No one wanted it. So he released it for free. Bit by bit with a couple of editors. They got them to make great clips. All of those clips went viral. Or not viral. They've had over 1 million views. Some of them now bordering like 3-4 million. And he's sold out a tour all over America. He went out to Europe, sold out tickets there in Europe. He's on a Flagrant podcast. He's on Brilliant Idiots podcast and Flagrant 2 podcast, or his regular podcast. He's now shooting his own new stuff and new other content. He's basically turning his YouTube channel into a fucking business. And they have, just for one of the podcasts, they have $27,000 worth of patrons a month between him and 2 other guys.
Yeah.
That's who gets paid at that. So, you know what I'm saying?
Here's why that is a little bit exhausting to me, because like naturally for the past year and a half I've been with the question of like when your life is a project that ends naturally, and some could say it ended in a very bad way, but at the same time it's like good, plug got pulled. Like it's kind of hard if you have something like that kind of die naturally. But like people have always been like, what's next? And like, aren't you gonna quickly try to parlay this into something else? And I'm like, there's and people have been like, why don't you just do whatever you want? And it's because like it's kind of hard because I did that with the attack. It's kind of exhaustive to think to like, we'll just start from nothing again, and just do that, because that's what we did. Like I did that for 4 years, and
Sure.
like I went from a closet with 2 fucking AT2020 microphones into.
And then you came out of the closet.
I came out of the closet.
That's when life really started to begin for you.
And man, I bought so many twink shirts and
Went down to the Port Authority.
Yeah, went down to the Port Authority, just sucked off a bus driver, and like, but I kind of did that. So like, and I feel like,
What are you saying then? There's no more joy in it for you.
just doing exactly that is like it there isn't any joy, because it's kind of tough to do that, have a finishing point, and then just Groundhog Day.
But you got to pay your rent.
Totally.
How are you paying your rent?
Oh, I mean that I've gotten to a point.
That was a great answer.
Well, I'm trying to think of a way to not sound arrogant.
You
but
have
like,
some money saved stored away.
No, I work at the Attack is still a fully functioning. We still make TV shows. Just I'm not in front of them. But I'm a writer. I'm a producer.
Oh, okay. So you are producing new stuff
Yeah.
with the production company,
Yeah.
not as The Attack. That show no longer exists.
No, Attack Media is a production company that still makes. We have.
Sure.
I'm currently writing a TV show.
All right. So you still have a job and a
Totally.
wage every month.
Yeah, and then plus any hosting stuff. But at the same time, it's like,
Bits of hosting. That's $10,000 in the fucking bank account every time one of those jobs comes along.
well, I should get your agent. But the point still stands where it's like, I haven't leapt up and done something like that because like I just did that. And to be fair, that fell in my lap anyway, just because I was doing what I like. So I've just been like doing stuff that I like, which is like currently been like trying to sell TV shows, and we did. So like, just because I'm not in front of them, which is the stuff I like doing the most, does not mean I'm not happy doing that. So to the answer of like why aren't you like going out on auditions and stuff? Because like,
Oh no, I didn't say that. I meant I'm surprised you're not already Ryan Seacrest's new little puppy.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand why, if you're going to be a corporate shill, do it.
yeah,
And get in contact with Ryan Seacrest's production company and say, I've been doing this show with blah, 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 with Alex Pereira, and it's time for a change. I want to go to the next level. I'm young, I'm handsome, and I'm fucking hungry. And then get in there for a meeting. Because I guarantee if you sit down for a conversation for half an hour, they'll be very taken by you. I think most people are. You're very intelligent. You come off much more worldly wise than your age suggests. And I think you're brilliant in what you do. But it's just...
well, I've
and
also
go and make millions.
I've realized that, and this is, again, going to make me sound very arrogant, but I don't think that being good at something necessarily means you get to do anything. Because if I've learned anything over the past year, it's that being good does not necessarily mean that people want you to do something. And doesn't necessarily mean that you get more work, or that, like, I've recently come off...
Well, you have to be passionate about it. You can be good at something and not passionate about it.
And I've had, over the past year, I mean, a lot of financial success and a lot more gigs that have been like, oh, well, money, good. But this is something that I legally can't talk about in any specific terms, but there was a thing that I was doing.
What was the name?
No. There was a thing that I was doing.
And it was underage.
And it was, yes. And I was like, do you like Subway sandwiches? No. And it was like something that was going to pan out to be like, you have to do this.
That was a pretty bad comical reference. A Jared reference in 2019.
Who is the new pedophile I could reference?
Bippy, that guy
the
off
shit-
fucking
yeah.
Blippy,
The shit monster.
the Harlem shit shaker.
I was the best choice out of everyone that they were picking from.
Right.
And I went and I did it, and they were like, let's sign a contract. Let's do it for a year. Here's how much money you're going to make. And I was like, wow. And it felt good because for the first time in my life, I didn't have to. It was a decent project.
That just needs to be in front of your face a little bit.
No, I want them to get the smoker's voice. Yeah. If I press this right against my voice box.
Like that.
It's because I just want to see you better.
I thought you'd be incredibly adept with a microphone. I got to say,
it's just
you're used to a lavalier mic. That's what it is.
I'm that, and the mics I use, they're for reporting. So you talk into the top of it. I was like, wow, this is the first time I was ever like, I thought I was the best choice.
Right,
I knew I was the most capable of it, and it paid off. And then 2 weeks after that, they said, hey, we're not going to use you anymore. And I was like, what happened? And what had happened is that they found someone who would do it for cheaper. Way cheaper. And I was like, what? This is like a multi-million dollar project. And to save $500 a week, they were like, see ya. And I was like,
as opposed to come back to you and say, but they'd already made the offer to you. Yeah.
And I was like, oh, sometimes it doesn't even matter if you're the best, because someone is going to be their kid, or they could do it for less money, or something. And it's like, oh, sometimes
it's not even that. I turned down a job at Nickelodeon, a 5-year contract at the end of last year, because they told me it was to play a sitcom, like a dad on a new sitcom, and it was really good money. I think like $35,000 an episode I was going to get paid. It was pretty good. Guaranteed all episodes. First time they offered $25,000, 7 out of 13 episodes a season. Then we refused it because everything else about it was so constrictive. Everything you write for 5 years, we get first refusal on. Any stand-up you do, we get to okay the material before you do it in any kind of special. You're not allowed to be a season regular on any other show. You can't be on any other children's network, blah, 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 blah. It all added up to, we own your soul for 5 years.
Yeah.
And then after that, go do what the fuck you want. But for 5 years, nothing.
Yeah.
So we refused it. And then they came back. They auditioned another 40 guys. And then I asked me to go in for a second audition. I went in for another audition. They offered me an extra $10,000 an episode and guaranteed every episode every season. And we were like, that was never the issue. And then so we refused it again. And then they cast another guy. And I knew the guy they were going to cast. And he's not as good.
Yeah, but he'll sign the paper.
But he'll sign it.
So
he'll be under their lock and key for the next 5 years and doesn't give a fuck. He's a magician.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Well, it's magic how he got into that gig. But regardless, the whole thing, we both know that like sometimes being the best doesn't even matter. It doesn't matter. And like that could either be disheartening or like a weird you don't matter in the universe kind of moment where you're like, oh, it doesn't matter. Don't worry about it. That might give you more power when you go into audition for things. You may be like, I'm the best and it doesn't matter. It literally, you could just do your best and it might not matter. So just go have fun. Like it was a very empowering moment of like, fuck, am I going to be really bummed that like I built up a skill that apparently is not worth what I think it's worth? Or is it like, well, you now have these tools, go do your best, people will want you, and then you'll still have to say no. Or they'll say no. And it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. So like I'm never mad when I go out for things and people get them. I'm legitimately never disappointed. I don't think I've been disappointed in the entire year I've been doing this. Because like you may know that you're the best, but it might not matter. It doesn't matter.
I mean, that's such an inspiring quote to wrap this up on. It doesn't matter how good you get something, how talented you are. Doesn't matter.
The earth will still find a way to fuck you. There you go. It's fine.
That's such a negative way to do it.
It's not. Like, I really do believe in a universe where we don't matter and...
Oh, we don't matter.
But
and anything we do, sure. However, it matters to yourself for the period of time that you have, because we're such an insignificant droplet. You might as well have a good time.
Sure.
But you also might as well do the things that really push, drive, encourage, and allow you the creativity that fulfills you, makes you feel content. It's not always about money. If it was, I wouldn't be doing any of the shit I'm doing. If I was worried about money, I'd spend every single moment from tomorrow on that other business venture, and I would be a millionaire in the space of about 6 months.
Sure. And
guaranteed.
It seems counterintuitive.
Guaranteed.
Because the whole thing of like, okay, the universe has no meaning. You have to give yourself meaning or else kill yourself. There's no reason to live if you wake up every day and you don't have a goal or something you want to do. So you have to have
Not
meaning.
remotely in support of killing yourself if you don't think there's something that you have found yet.
Sure.
You may yet still be trying to find it. Sorry, just because like lately I've had a friend commit suicide who had everything and knew exactly what his purpose was. And also, I know there's a few listeners, we talk quite openly about mental health. If you, I know you're only just, it was an offhand comment, but
Yes.
but having, I think discovering
I
your
guess,
thing.
Can I take a take two at that?
Yeah.
Well, then you may seem pretty hopeless. You may feel pretty hopeless if you're like, what am I doing in life? Because everyone's looking for purpose. And if you think that like, oh, well, the thing I've done has no purpose, well, then you're also kind of fucked.
Yeah.
But I think there's some beauty in like, you can just do things because you want to be good at them and you can like want to be the best at them and you feel more confident when you're the best. But like, you can't be mad when bad people get good things.
Yeah. Unless, of course, that you would have getting that thing that you've worked really tirelessly to be the best at, and you don't get the role because of, I don't know, you're too fat, too short, they got someone cheaper, they actually wanted to diversify a bit more and you're a white straight dude, whatever the reason might be. It's very frustrating. It is okay to get wound up about it because you go, I need to do this thing that I've trained my entire life to be good at to pay my fucking rent, bro. I'd love to have this conversation with you if you were no longer working at Attack Media, for instance, and if you were kind of going, fuck, my funds are running out, my savings are running out. I'd be interested to see how you think about it then.
Yeah,
It's quite a privileged position. I'm not saying that you're being remotely blasé about other people's struggles, but I do think there's an element where you go, if you've worked tirelessly to be good at something, really good at something, to the point where people should be very impressed by what you achieve, and you can't get the fucking foot in the right doors because of things that are completely outside of your control, it's good to always moderate your own feelings and have an objective outlook on it, which is the reason this didn't happen because it wasn't the right moment, or sure, there were outlying factors that I have no control over. All I have control over is being the best at what I do. Everything else is out of my control. That's a good standpoint to have. However, to say that you can't sometimes be like, fuck, scream from the rooftops, fuck the world, because it doesn't want to give me this chance. The difference between people who make it and those who don't, given those moments, is the ones who continue even though they've had that fuck moment.
Yeah. I don't think I'd be, even if I've been very lucky. Like I'm always like, people are like, how much do you think was
with that cheekbone structure, yes, you have been incredibly lucky.
Tall, just like fucking, and the privilege of being white and all that other stuff is like, it's like, okay.
And you're like real white.
Oh,
you're like
super.
If I see you walking down the street, I'm like, probably watches Alex Jones.
And I am goose stepping. That's how I always get the legs as high as possible. But like,
you're always goose stepping.
And then to have an opportunity.
Well, that's why Disney wanted to work with you, probably.
Drop in my lap again. Just gonna crush that down into back to Jeff. But like
that wasn't me. I didn't say it.
Yeah,
I was talking about your sparkling eyes and your youth. You were talking about the goose stepping. Okay, sorry. Yeah, different thing.
No, they're good, big into fitness. I
really want to be on a Star Wars movie. Sorry.
Oh yeah, no, we're all good. We all love them. They're great. House of the Mouse. I just feel like I don't think I'd be miserable if I didn't get and I worry about like, what if I didn't get those weird opportunities? But like, I got one opportunity one time, and then it seems like nobody else has ever, maybe like, and then my management gave me a chance one time. But then other than that, it's like, it's really been like, I feel like I've just worked as hard as I could and I've gotten most of my juice off of that. Like, it's not been really the success, because if you look at everything I've done, I haven't been that successful, like, at all from what I could have done. And I've just worked as hard as I could, and I've stepped back and been like, well, I did my best. And it's like this weird chicken soup for the soul way to look at it.
I feel like you needed to talk.
What?
I think you needed to vocalize all of this.
Oh, yeah, totally. I should have been in therapy 3 years ago.
But also, because we haven't seen each other for almost a year, I guess, and haven't had a social hangout, and I didn't know any about the work stuff or anything that was going on, I think you needed to vocalize a lot of this in one sitting.
Sure.
To get it out. It'd be interesting to see what you do beyond that. I know you're already producing and writing and creating shows, and I hope you continue to do that. I hope you continue to create amazing shows, and maybe one day create one that needs a leading British man in his 30s.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, then
I need you to sign this very predatory contract, Jeff, please.
For 5 years,
I want your
I have
firstborn.
to gargle your balls once a week. Yeah.
In my bathroom, they're going to be hairless. But yeah,
but they're tiny, so it's going to be barely anything. We already established they're tiny and smooth.
it's going to be like trying to swish around 2 Tic Tacs in your mouth.
Yeah, a couple of marbles in a chamois leather.
Yeah. But you're right. I may be very well destitute in 2 years, and I'm going to be singing a different tone.
It's just very interesting to hear how different people at different stages of their life and also different ages can talk about success, career, and how that balances with creative desires and ambitions and needs.
Yeah, it's a really weird thing to be like, I would like to do this exact thing, and then like people don't get their dreams very often, or when they do, they don't get it right away. And like, I wanted to make that show, and I was able to do it immediately the second I became an adult. Someone was like, here's the chance. And then to have that, do it, see it's not exactly what you thought it was going to be, and then have it taken away is like, it goes from that show has made me able to talk, and I'm able to seem like I'm more mature and adult than I am, and maybe have a perspective on things that other people don't at my age. But I was still a mess because I was like this weird Arthur, and I got whatever I wanted. Like,
yeah.
And then once you get that taken away, you get this very quick realization like, oh, who am I when I'm not talking? What am I when I don't have this thing that I identify with? And it was like, that's been the past year. And
trying to work it out.
Sure. And it's the fucking entertainment industry. It's a fucking ride. And if you can't handle the downs, then you're not going to enjoy the ups. So like, I'm just trying to become bulletproof. And like on the attack, it was.
That's a comment I'm like, I want to. Every
Then punch me in the head.
No,
like, please get it out of me.
That you would still technically be bulletproof if that's physical assault.
Because I'm real hollow up there, so it'd make a good thunk sound.
You understand what I'm saying? Is that when I hear comments like that, I go, no, like I don't.
I'm not saying don't
become so
callous to my feelings.
Exactly. And to your desire, your needs and your desires, man. We all got human needs and desires. Money is not one of them. And that's a fabricated thing. The idea that money and status, that's never been a thing that we humans need. Status, actually, yes. Yeah. But money
in your community, yeah.
Within your own community. You want to be respected or revered or admired for something. That's always been a human desire. But I really think understanding the needs, the human needs, that's what I'm saying.
I'm not really saying squash it down. When I say bulletproof, I don't mean like don't feel those things. I mean like I always wanted to create, and being given that opportunity, I was always just scared. I was always scared that I wasn't going to be good enough, or I was going to fuck something up or something like that. And my whole thing, like after stepping back from that entire experience, is like, I would love to do that again, but feel like I'm over prepared. So I really embrace fucking things up now and trying things that are scary to me, not because I want to squash down when I fail, but because I want to fail so I know how to not do it.
Yeah.
So my whole thing like is maybe not become famous or get a lot of money, because if that happened to me, I wouldn't enjoy it, and I'd be scared the entire time. So like my goal right now,
destitute and unknown.
Yeah, who wants that?
I mean, that's what you want to be. You said your goal isn't to be famous and incredibly wealthy anymore.
I don't think I want the earth to shit on me either, but like really embrace those times, because I just want to, should I ever get the chance again, not do it the same way.
Yeah,
become bulletproof.
That's good. I like that. That's all right. That is kind of positive. Kind of.
But it's because I
think it's because you're still in formulation as a person. You're 25, 26?
24.
24. Yeah, so you're still formulating who you are. I'm still formulating who I am.
Isn't it crazy that 50 years ago I would have had 2 kids and worked in a steel, I would look 48 and work in a steel mill.
Plenty of people still do have that life.
Yeah, the South is crazy. But yeah.
But seriously, a lot of people do still have that life, you know?
It's people are always like, man, we're living in a pretty dark time.
I'm 35 and I'm an artist.
Yeah, dude.
What?
Extended adolescence is fabulous.
I'm telling jokes and talking with my fucking friends in front of a PC.
You really don't.
That's my job?
You don't, in this day and age, you don't have to have your shit together until you retire. And then you feel it real hard, but like, you can just fuck around forever.
Well, I do think there's a toss-up. If you're in the creative industry, you don't have the security that a lot of other avenues of work might bring. But you have... Hopefully you do some things that you enjoy. I enjoy talking to people that I like and that I think are bright. You know, that's enjoyable to me. I enjoy sharing stories with my audience. I enjoy talking to these guys and telling them, you know, about my lows and my highs so we can empathize with each other. I love all of those things. And I love getting on stage and making people laugh, or getting on TV or film and telling a story as a character. I love doing all of those things, and I love that I get to do some of that.
Which are some of them inherently ridiculous.
But 100%. But I also... I'm not going to lie, I think once you hit 30, there is more of a need and a desire, because you start feeling the speeding up of life from 30 onwards.
Sure.
You start going. You become grossly more aware of how fast the speed that time travels because you're doing more stuff in the same amount of time, so it feels like it's going quicker. How much less time you have to do things that you love, and how much more time you have to spend doing infinite amounts of boring shit to make the things you love possible.
Yeah.
And that definitely changes the need for success and financial stability. I definitely need it more now in 30 than I did when I was 20 because I have more financial responsibilities, I have more goals, I have more aspirations, and now when I want to do a thing, I just fucking do it.
Yeah.
And then I go, shit, that cost a lot to do the thing.
Yeah.
Whereas previously, I go, I really want to do a thing, and then I go, all right, but I'll probably just pick up my skateboard and take £5 out, and then I'll spend that on some White Ace 2-litre bottle of cheap, nasty cider and a pack of smokes. And me and my buddies will go and smoke and skate and drink cider all day. And it's fucking the best.
I would love in 2 weeks I see you outside of a 7-Eleven with a Four Loko and a longboard. I'm like, Jeff is living his life. This is his eat, pray, love.
No, that I'd massively regressed.
I think you're just trying to get back to your roots. Be like, maybe I need to drink more malt liquor.
Well, I mean, I've given up alcohol completely now, so...
It's all cycles. It's cyclic. One day, once you hit 40, you're going to be like, maybe I should pick up a couple Mickeys and slam them in an alleyway. And maybe that's when
I think that every day now.
Fuck, that is an option.
On
Damn
a
it.
bad day, exactly.
I make my own domain.
Well, I mean, when I do, I'll give you a call and we'll do it together.
I've probably in the past 4 years drinking 4 times.
Have you taken any English lessons?
What do you mean?
Drinking?
Drank?
You said drinking.
Drinking?
It wasn't even drinkid. It was drinkin'.
I have a public high school, an American public high school education as my max level.
You weren't drunken, but you drank. So I drank.
I done drink.
Oh my God.
But every single time.
That's the most British thing you'll ever see from me is irritation at poor grammar. Oh God.
What is the correct way? I have drank.
I have drunk.
Now, why is that different?
I have drunk.
I've drunk, but I've drank.
But you can actually use drunk or drank depending on American or British English and also what the context of the sentence is.
I have done drinked.
What was the rest of the sentence?
Maybe 5 times. I really don't.
I've probably drank alcohol.
Yes.
Maybe 5 times in the last whatever.
Well, like I've had a drink at dinner here or there, but like actually been like, I'm going to drink tonight.
Yeah, but you blow a lot of ketamine into your own arsehole, don't you?
Oh, absolutely. I'm like, well, it's faster. I don't want to get my nose all fucked up. I got to get the surgery where they rooter it out.
It's the nerves, more nerve endings.
Yeah. But and every time I do it, I just like, I think it's funny to drink a 40. So I get a 40 and I get halfway through it. I'm like, this is fucking disgusting.
Yeah.
Then I drink something else.
Did you ever have that phase where in America they like to
tape them,
duct tape them to your hands and you're like, oh, bro, Edward, 40 hands.
No, I didn't do like the bro stuff. I'd be like, just butt fuck me now. Because you don't have to go straight to the drink 240s and
surely
fall asleep on the couch.
That's the most bro-y of all the things you could do.
Totally. You've never been to an American frat.
Chad, what's up, bro? You want to slam some beers and then slam each other's assholes?
I promise
no way, bro. Fucking 420 in the quad, dude. I'm gonna put
real
a finger in your eye and then in the tip of your penis.
Whoop, whoop.
Whoop, whoop.
A real thing that happens at frat houses
dip and tip.
Is like, let's watch a gay porn because it's funny.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's not because it's funny.
Yeah. You know what'd be even funnier? Why don't we jack off?
Yeah, this is hilarious. How hilarious is that? Because we're all straight.
Yeah.
It'd be hilarious.
Bro, I'll give you like the rest of my beer if you jerk me off.
Yeah.
No way. It's not gay. No homo, dude. No homo.
They legit, I went to like a frat party one time and people were just pulling each other's pants down and like just like waggling their dicks and stuff. Like they pull their friend's pants down and he goes, whoa, and like waves it at his face to get him back. And I'm like, just have sex with each other. Just try it.
Why is everyone in here wearing leather?
Yeah.
Why is there George Michael playing?
Why is there a bear?
Why is there
this is a fat party.
Oh my God.
And then it's all a bunch of overweight gay guys
I'm
and
in
they
a
all
club.
start tackling me.
You just go into gay clubs, didn't realize it.
I had never been to a gay club. I should go.
I would never go if I were you because you will get eaten the fuck alive,
out.
Dude. I get hit on in gay clubs. And if I get hit on, it's over.
It's going to be a cartoon where like there's a skeleton where I used to be. It's going to be like barracudas and then it's just me and a skeleton.
Yeah, exactly. Or they just all rush over to you and then when they disappear, you're just drained like your balls. The only thing that like your balls have just disappeared inside of you.
They build bathroom dividers around me and then it looks like Swiss cheese.
Head
There's so
to
many
toe
holes.
just covered in goop.
Yeah. Well, I'd be into that.
Yeah,
I love Nickelodeon slime.
There you go.
Sign that contract.
All right, man. Well, look, I'm glad we went through a ridiculous segue, a myriad of topics. I think we kind of generally aired on the career, life, goals, aspirations.
Oh, yeah.
And the differences in decades, maybe. The difference a decade can make.
Touch on that I probably should be in therapy. It's been the whole...
There's been a lot.
The whole gamut. I would like to just give me
bears, wolves, and honey badgers. We covered a lot today.
Give me a like a real rating out of guests.
Oh, as a guest?
Yeah, as a guest. Because I think I'm pretty shit at it. Because I'm usually hosting it. I'm very bad at like...
No.
Really?
I think as a guest, you're a solid, like, across the board, it would be like an 8 out of 10.
Oh, shit, thank you.
There were moments where quite amusing. For a comedy podcast...
I didn't know what this was. I
yeah?
should have done my research. I didn't know it was a comedy podcast. Do you want to get into more bits? Let's do a bit right now. Let's do a quick bit.
No, it's okay.
Let's do a quick
So,
bit.
as a comedian...
Is this roommate of farts, Jeff?
As a comedy guest, you know what? There was a lot of serious chat, but every now and then a funny, like, side or like punch. So... in terms of that, I'd say it was like a 6 for comedy.
Shit.
As an eloquent and insightful guest, you were a 9, man. At least a 9. I'm not going to give you a 10 just because one day I might get like
a jacket back.
I might get a jacket back, or I might. There you go. See, now you just went to a 7 in the comedy.
Oh, thank you.
That just got you another point.
Well, I feel like it's
handsome. I mean, for viewership.
Thank you.
I feel like you're a 10 there, bro. You're an LA 10, bro.
I literally saw a webcam melt in front of me. You had to quickly swap it out, and I was like, "Sorry, dude."
There's gonna be ladies and some gentlemen who are gonna watch this and think, "I'm just gonna mute the sound." Play some Sade over top, and then just furiously... They're going to watch this in a frat house.
And they're going to be like, let's just watch this all straight.
Should we just watch this?
Let's watch it.
It's just straight. But the bit where they talk about gay and jerking off, maybe we'll just jerk off, see what happens.
Oh, you iced me, bro.
Hashtag no homo.
Put it in my butt.
There you go. And then and then that was it. And then as a friend who I haven't seen for a while, you're
Got some work to do.
6.5.
I've been hanging out with Chris D'Elia, and he was like, let me tell you a good way to deal with Jeff. And I was like, well... Chris D'Elia's got a successful podcast. Fuck.
The ghost thing. Yeah, see, that one day that's going to catch up with me because I think at some point he and I are going to definitely be in the same venue. And I don't know if it's going to be weird. I don't know if he's going to be like...
You're going to be like, fuck.
If he's going to ignore me, which would be really rude. And I'd probably call him out on that and go, really?
I think what you have to do is let go, Jeff. Because I think he's just going to pretend it didn't happen, and I think you have to do that too.
Yeah, it's probably good. That's probably very good advice. But I'd rather be like, if I saw him, be like, "Hey, what's up?" And he'd be like, "Hey," and I'd be like,
and that's either you go, you have the Fallout dialogue tree, and you're like, "Do I go? Do I burn him?
Do I go?" Yeah. Well, because that obvious comment would be like, "Done any good podcasts lately?" That would be like funny. I feel like that would.
But that's you blowing up Megaton, or you're gonna miss out on the stores and the house and all the stuff you need there. It's cool to watch it blow up and it's entertaining.
But wouldn't that be funny? Wouldn't that be a good way to dissipate the awkwardness? Just be like, listen to any fun podcasts lately?
And listen, people, I remember when that game came out, they're like, oh yeah, I blew it up. It was hilarious. It was great. It was the cool explosion. But then they're like, fuck, I wish I had a place to trade my weapons.
Yeah, I don't know.
Am I right, gamers?
Well, by the way, and let me just, do you want to see the message? Let's finish it on this, actually.
Okay.
Seeing as we've done fucking 2 hours already.
Oh, man.
These are meant to be an hour long.
Missed 420. Damn it.
Check this out. Are you ready?
I get my Chiba. Yeah.
This was the last message that I sent to him, which he didn't reply to. I didn't expect him to be honest, but I just thought I'd send it anyway. He's probably blocked my number, so I'm assuming he's not even getting it. But it'll be interesting to see. This is how I ended it, and this is why I think
you spelled bomb wrong.
Hilarious.
What did you send him?
Hilarious. I said, and it's a lot of blue. I said, hey man, Brody's passing hit me pretty hard. This was about our friend who committed suicide, and I know it hurt you too. I'm just reaching out to make sure you're good. The death of this emotionally sensitive man I admired also made me aware of how, despite what we think we know about our colleagues in the industry and what we think might be going on in their lives, ultimately there's no way of truly knowing unless we ask. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry if you had stuff going on or were insanely busy, sad, depressed, focused on something else when I was trying to book you for the podcast, which I assume ultimately led to you ghosting. From my end, it just seemed like you reached out with interest in taking part and then disappeared as some kind of joke. I'm used to people in comedy treating me like that, so I guess I'm a little wary. Anyway, Brody reminded me that not everyone is out to embarrass, belittle, or fool me. Some people just have stuff going on behind the scenes. I hope we can wipe the slate clean. Jeff.
And he did not respond?
Nah.
Maybe you don't. Maybe you just avoid it.
Yeah, I don't even think he's seen that. But I think that's a nice, that was honest. It was from the heart. It was like, and I did honestly, when Brody passed away, I was like, okay. It made me think about comedians and about being understanding that everyone's going through shit behind the scenes.
And they make fun of it. Like their tool to deal with it is to be like,
sure,
look how stupid this is.
Sure. So with regards to him, I was like, maybe he just had he could have that night gone home to check his schedule. And then his dad could have been, touch wood, but his dad could have been ill the next day. And maybe his head was wrapped up in his family member being sick. And then I'm texting going, hey buddy, what about this? And he doesn't really know me. And he's like, fuck this guy. I'll get back to him in a few days. And then a few days go past and something else happens. He has an argument with his girlfriend. And then he gets another text from me being like, hey man, just if you don't want to do it, then whatever. And he's like, you know what? Fuck off. And just blocks me.
Yeah.
That's probably infinitely more likely.
Sure.
Than that he went, I know what I'll do. I shall promise to go on this podcast. I shall build up his hopes and dreams.
There will be one long-haired, bearded, sexy
comedian. And then I shall destroy him with insecurities.
I will continue to get the Comedy Central roasts, and me alone.
Me alone. I took down Jeselnik, and Leach shall be next. Maybe that's what it was.
Yeah, but you should like give it like a year before if you see him in real life to talk to him. You just gotta let it blow over.
Oh no, I'm not gonna. It's not even a thing. I don't even think it's a thing.
No, I legit think he did exactly what you said.
Yeah.
But I think you've put yourself in a position where you just need to like let it pass.
Yeah, I should stop talking about it on my podcast.
Yeah, probably.
Talked about it 3 times now.
That's a good place to say it.
I mean, it doesn't take long to...
Yeah, but fuck him. It's all right.
Yeah, fuck Hardwick.
I'm never, yeah.
Who else? All of Twitch.
Yeah, no, not them.
Yeah.
TJ can kind of get fucked.
From your end, I'm going to give him another chance.
Okay, one more until he calls a bomb threat here, and you're like, "Fuck!"
I'm going to invite TJ Miller on my podcast, and then when he ghosts me,
and
I'll be like, "Yeah, fuck him too."
Do you know what Alex Corea said about you? And he's like, "Who the fuck is that?
Who the fuck is Alex Corea?"
Be like Ryan Seacrest, tiny but worse, and he'd be like, "Shit."
There you go. I'll tell you who Alex Corea is. He's my friend. He's a great presenter. He's a wonderful creator of TV, and he's a nice guy. Check him out. If people want to check out more of what you're doing and the shows that you're making, it's probably best for them to check, I guess, Attack Media. They have
Google
a website.
Search Attack Media, yeah.
Yeah, and you can find all the shows that they're making at the moment. Anything that you're working on right now that you can talk about, or is it? You said there's a new thing you're just starting on?
No. It's
you're not allowed to talk about it yet.
Season 2 and 3, baby.
Oh, okay.
We're already season 2 and 3.
All right, tell me.
Making a show called Player Select for Disney. It is a video game show. So I write it. Check it out. You got Jacksepticeye. You got Markiplier.
Are you
got
serious?
all my favorite people. Yeah.
Is that who makes it?
Those are the people.
That's who's on it. Yeah. Jacksepticeye and Markiplier.
Markiplier, yeah.
Oh yeah.
And we got Fortnite now. We can show Fortnite. So.
I mean, I don't condone watching that show.
Good. Maybe. Listen.
The people you've just mentioned and
the
Fortnite,
games that they can play.
Nah.
But Jeff doesn't have to watch it. But if that excites you, you can watch it.
There you go. Yeah.
I actually don't know. I don't know if we're
want to
still
follow you though.
Here's what's funny about that. I actually don't want to fuck myself. I don't know if those were the people in season 1. We actually have not locked anyone for season 2. So who knows?
Jeff Leach.
Jeff Leach knows.
Jeff Leach.
And then all the people.
TJ Miller present.
Man, how fucked up would that be if Markiplier used this as a gambling chip? Damn it. Never gonna know.
Well, he says now. He goes.
And he's like, well, now that you said it on this podcast.
Nah, you're right. There's no contract signed.
Yeah, no.
Get fucked, Markiplier.
Now, hold on. See, that's another Jeff Leach original coming in from Jeff Leach land. I think he's great.
But within the context of the joke, get fucked.
Oh, damn it. He's got good hair, though. I don't want to shit on him too hard.
And if they want to follow you on social media,
at Alex Corea.
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 Thanks, man.
Hey, no, thanks.
It's a pleasure to have you on. I look forward to watching continued successes.
I gotta run out of here before you follow me to my car to try to get the jag back, because I'm pretty sure he said the satchel, but the satchel's pretty visible from the rest of the trunk, and I did not see it hanging out.
I'm coming to check the back of your car.
Come check it.
I'll see you next time. Take care, guys. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Bye.